the night for the Hounds.
Yeah, really good job right there. Number 54, Joe Brown, 56, Troy Faulkner did a great job finding the runner in there to close the door, bringing up a second and long right here for the Golden Eagles.
Broken wishbone set. Twin wideouts to the right. Fakes the handoff. Quarterback keeper across the left side, trying to find some running room. Going to be driven down to the ground. Might have got up to the 35-yard line. See what kind of spot they give him. Wow, they give him a tremendous spot.
Huge spot.
Up to the 33-yard line. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, huge spot right there. Seth Mills comes up, makes the hit, and brings up a 3rd and 5 right here. And, of course, moving towards the end zone, of course, 4-down territory, no doubt about it. But, Hounds need to dig in right here. Hounds need to make something happen in the backfield of the Golden Eagles.
No pass attempts from Johnson Central. They only have 30 on the season. Rice under center. 2 tight ends, double wing formation behind him. Wide arcing motion, going to go with the fullback dive across the right side. He's going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Back down at the 30-yard line. They'll give him about a yard on forward progress. 4th down and about 4 to go. First crucial juncture of tonight's football game.
Yeah, huge play right here. 4th and 3. Of course, Golden Eagles going to line up and go for it. Troy Faulkner again coming up to make the hit. And hopefully right here when I'm thinking, Ronnie, the Hounds have been great hitters all season long, and that's got to pay off in that 3rd and 4th quarter. Just beating on the runner, wear him down, beat him up a little bit, and get the Golden Eagles wore down in that 3rd and 4th quarter.
4th down and 3 to go. Same formation, double wings. Rice tucks up under center. Fullback dive across the left side. He's going to squirt ahead for the 1st down. Picks up about 5 yards on the carry. That's going to move the sticks.
Yeah, again, just another run right there off the left side. And, Brandon Baker coming up to make the hit, but not before Johnson Central 1st down. So, again, Hounds did a great job in the previous series right there, kind of getting the Golden Eagles behind the chains, but then still, like we talked about, 4-down territory all the time. They're going to go for it when it's 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 4th and 3, and try to pick up the 1st down and move the chains.
Eagles in the wishbone formation. Belly handoff across the right side. Not a lot of running room there. Mikey Neal's going to come up and meet him at the line of scrimmage. Might have picked up a yard or 2 on the carry.
Yeah, just a couple right there. And, again, tackling leader Mikey Neal, over 100 tackles, as we said a moment ago, making the play right there. And so big players make big plays. Mikey Neal needs to have a great football game tonight in there inside, stopping the fullback for the Golden Eagles.
The big observation, JB, is the size differential right now. Johnson Central, massive up front.
Just big guys, man.
Corbin definitely can contain the speed. It's just going to be staring down the barrel of these big hogs. Wishbone formation on 2nd down. Hard count. Red Hound might have got away with an offsides penalty. They're going to keep him, let him play. No time on the play clock. That's going to be delay a game against Johnson Central. We'll see if they give Coach Trimble the timeout.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see right there. Saw the flags fly, but the white hat really kind of making the call right here. Yeah, no flags.
He's going to wave it off and give a timeout to Johnson Central. 5:37 left in the 1st. Score Corbin 0, Johnson Central 0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
What's your favorite thing about football time in Corbin? The hometown pride, the sound of the cannon that echoes through downtown Corbin with every point scored? Or is it the tradition of taking your family to Mi Casa before the game? In Corbin, it's all about tradition, and that's what you can count on at Mi Casa Mexican Restaurant. A family-friendly, delicious meal with every visit. Stop in and enjoy their patio and weekly specials. Good luck and go Hounds from Mi Casa of Corbin.
It's crazy.
It's frustrating.
Yeah.
5:37 remaining in the 1st quarter of play. Corbin 0, Johnson Central 0. We're still on the first offensive possession of the Golden Eagles. They've had the ball 2nd and 8 at the Red Hound 20-yard line. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. JB, right now Johnson Central's burned 2 timeouts already in the 1st half on misalignment.
Exactly, and that's a break for the Hounds right there. Could come into play, especially moving towards halftime. Johnson Central going at it right here.
Power I formation, handoff across the left side. He breaks 1 tackle, trying to string it out to the sideline. He's going to be dropped after a pickup of 2 yards. That plays into the strength of this Red Hound defense. Not a lot of teams have been able to move the ball sideline to sideline, including Caden Mormon from Franklin County, held to minimal yardage. He's committed to UK.
That's right. Yeah, and exactly a perfect point right there. You see the point of attack, and, a lot of times the Hounds tonight may have trouble with the point of attack, but right there we saw the back try to bounce it out to the left side. And when that happens, the Hounds defense is going to be all over it. Evan Poor, number 15, close the door right there.
3rd and 5 at the Red Hound 17-yard line. Wishbone formation behind Rice. 2 tight ends in the football game. Counter handoff across the right side. Hurdles the line of scrimmage. I think he got it up to about the 11-yard line. I believe he has the first down based on the yardage.
Yeah, looking right at it there, I think, officials still kind of wondering whether to move the chains. Yeah, moving the chains. So first down again, Johnson Central. And as you mentioned, have yet to pass the football in this football game. We're going to run at you. Stop us if you can right there for the Red Hounds defense.
Averaging 2.5 pass attempts a football game on the season. They don't like to air it out. Rice under center, wide arcing motion, fullback dive across the right side, breaks a tackle, lowers his shoulder and dropped at the 5-yard line. Picks up about 6 on the carry before he's brought to rest there.
Yeah, and again, number 48, Chase Price, the fullback, kind of having his way right there. Looked like number 6, Jacob Baker, coming up to make the hit. But right now, looks like second down right about the 5-yard line. 4 minutes to go in this first half. Hounds need to, dial up a stop, dial up a big play to get to the Golden Eagles offense right here.
Johnson goes with double wings here on the goal line. Wide motion to the left, fullback dive to the left, puts his hand in the dirt and walks it into the end zone for the touchdown.
Wow, yeah, just a fullback dive, nothing fancy, nothing tricky. Again, a lot of times the Eagles like to move the football around, and again, we keep talking about it. Have to play assignment football, but right there, just a dive left to number 48, Chase Price for the Golden Eagles, and just ran right off left tackle, huge hole, and a touchdown Golden Eagles.
Of course, you play at this level, you're going to give up scores.
That's
you're going to
right.
give up touchdowns. It's all about responding and remaining calm in the battle.
Yeah, exactly. We knew the Golden Eagles were going to score tonight, and then, we'll get to see the offense come on the field and see how the Hounds respond right here.
Crum on for the PAT. Kick is up and away. 3:54 remaining in the first quarter. Johnson Central strikes work. They lead 7-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Hometown Bank is proud of their name because Hometown Bank is proud of the hometowns they're in. In fact, their name is their mission, which is to take care of the communities in which they work and live. Hometown Bank is always here to help, so if you're buying a house, remodeling your kitchen, or need a home equity loan to combine other debt, come see Hometown Bank and find out how easy working with a Hometown Bank can be. Visit the Hometown Bank nearest you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
3:54 remaining in the first quarter of play. Johnson Central strikes first. They lead 7-0 over Corbin here at Campbell Field. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. And that, JB, that was an 8-minute drive.
Yes,
It's something
yes.
we talked about going into it. Johnson Central loves to run the football. They love to keep it on the ground and pound straight ahead. They were able to do that, march it right down the field with no pass attempts.
Exactly, and if you were to dial it up right there, Johnson Central, a typical Johnson Central drive, control time of possession, control the football game. And so like we said in JB Keys of the game, the Hounds defense and offense working together have to get the Golden Eagles out of their game plan.
Crum on to kick it off. It's a low line drive, going to be fielded by Wells at the 20-yard line. He's going to reverse field towards the home sideline. Gets hit, run to his own blocker. Now reversing field at the 25.
There we go.
Gets some running room at the 30. At the 35, he's finally brought down at his own 36-yard line. Nice little return there. A lot of yardage, but 16 yards he'll net on the return. Corbin, good starting field position for their first possession of the football game.
Yeah, real good starting position right there, starting field position. Brody Wells did a great job kind of running out to the right side, coming back to the left, and will be very interesting to see right here how the Hounds respond, on offense to the Golden Eagles drive right there.
Different stylistic approach. Corbin will spread the football field, 4 wide receivers to start the game. Seth Huff, the running back, in for Corbin. He'll get the call on first down across the right side up to the 40. Lowers his shoulder at the 45. He's going to pick up about 12 all the way down to his own 47-yard line. Gain of about 12 there. That's enough for the first down, Red Hounds.
Yeah, great run right there. The X factor to me tonight. Seth Huff running off left tackle right there, moving the chains, over 1,000 yards in 8 football games. So Seth Huff able to pound the football tonight for the Hounds.
One thing, Johnson Central, they do bring a good defense onto the field, have not played as explosive an offense as Corbin all year. 5 wide receivers on the field for Combs. He's out of the shotgun, twins to the right, twins to the left, trips to the right. Back to pass, throws the quick hitch route to Longmire. He's going to haul in and catch it in Johnson Central territory down to the Golden Eagle 48-yard line. Gain of 5 on the pitch and catch.
Yeah, good job right there again. You know, Hounds, like you said, in the empty formation, Hounds kind of running quick right here. Looks like the Golden Eagles, they have the 3 big defensive linemen up there, and then they kind of have, looks like number 7, number 33, the outside backers walked up, and then they have the Mike backer inside. So kind of a 3-3-5, but they move those guys all the way around, have 5-1, 5-2, a lot of different looks for the Golden Eagles.
2 running backs checked into the game. Now he sends Curry in motion. Ball is on the ground. It's going to be recovered. I think Johnson Central fell on it. They bobbled the handoff. That is not what Corbin wanted to start this game. Johnson Central going to take over in Corbin territory at the Corbin 48-yard line.
Yeah, a tough break right there for the Hounds. Again, you know, one of the factors, you know, you can't have a lot of turnovers. You can't have a lot of penalties. And right there, unfortunately for the Hounds offense, turn the football over right about midfield, right about the 50-yard line, giving the Golden Eagles another opportunity on offense. So, again, defensively, you got to dial it in. You got to figure a way out to get the Golden Eagles to third down.
Johnson Center going to take over on the Red Hound 48-yard line. Rice tucks up under center, wishbone formation behind him. 2 tight ends in the football game. Counter handoff across the left side.
Go.
He's going to be buried in the backfield by a surge of Hounds. He's going to lose a lot of yards there. They're going to mark him back 2, actually, on the carry. Sets up 2nd and 12 for Johnson Central.
Huge play right there. Number 54, right defensive end, Joe Brown coming in, cleaning up right there, making a hit in the backfield. And just what the Hounds defense needed, creating that 2nd and 11, 2nd and 12. So really good job right there on first down by the Hounds defense.
You knew at some point Corbin was going to sell out on the run blitz.
That's right.
Put him behind the chains.
That's right.
Same formation for Johnson Central on 2nd down. Belly handoff. Gets hit at the 50, staggers ahead to the 45. That's where he'll be brought to rest. Picks up about 5 or 6 yards. Now that sets up 3rd and long for Johnson Central.
3rd and long right here. Carter Sevier coming in, making the play, the left defensive end for the Hounds. But again, you know, we've talked about it so far tonight in this first quarter. Minute 30 left to go. Hounds down 7-0. But again, 3rd and about 6, 3rd and about 7 right there. And, you know, Johnson Central gets anything close, of course, they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Could see Corbin dial up another run blitz here. They did on 1st down. Wide receiver split out each way, 1 wing and a fullback in the backfield. Flat motion from the wing, fullback dive across the right side. Got some running room at the 40. He's going to walk it into the end zone. 10, 20, 5, touchdown Johnson Central.
Man, I tell you what, just a fullback dive off the right side behind the big offensive lineman, number 65, Grant Bingham, and just kind of get led to the end zone right there. And the Hounds really having a tough time right there defensively. And Johnson Central looking to go up 14-0 right here, pinning this extra point.
Now puts a lot of importance on the next drive for the Red Hounds.
Yes.
Of course, still well in the football game, down 2 scores. When you get the ball back at the half, it still gives you a certain dynamic you can play from, but Corbin has to put points on the board next offensive possession.
That's right. Got to put points on the board, kind of getting, like I said, Johnson Central out of their football game. So Hounds need to score in a hurry.
Kick is through the uprights. 1:06 left in the first. Johnson Central leads 14-0. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
When you've been in business since 1954, you have to be doing something right. At Owens Auto Repair, they believe in honesty, service, and that hard work can still get you somewhere. Owens offers a complete line of truck and auto parts, as well as their custom-made hydraulic hoses, weather guard toolboxes, utility beds, and Sherwin-Williams auto paint. They also offer auto repair for cars, trucks, and RVs, and of course have top name brand tires. And they do towing and recovery. Owens Auto Repair, located just down from Corbin High School on Cumberland Falls Highway.
I'd have a guy wide open before I let him run the ball on me. Oh, my God.
1:06 remaining in the first quarter of play. Corbin falling behind the scoreboard early. They trail 14-0 to Johnson Central. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. Corbin on to receive the football. Huff standing on his own 10-yard line. Crum kicked it short. The kickoff a go. It's a high arcing kick going to be fielded by Wells, and he's going to step out of bounds just inside his own 20-yard line. Probably would have been good to let that one go.
Yeah, tough break right there. You know, you let that football go, and you pick up a lot of yards, you know, on the flag. So Hounds pinned a little bit right around the 20-yard line here to start this next drive. I think actually the 19. So, you know, Hounds need to on offense, down 14-0, a minute to go in this first quarter. Need to get things going offensively, put some pressure on the Golden Eagle defense.
Second possession, Corbin opens up in the shotgun. Twin wideouts each way. Now actually going to be trips to Combs' right. Handoff going to go to Huff across the right side.
There he goes.
Going to be marched out of bounds. Flag comes a-flying on the play. See the official spot on the play. This penalty also very important at this point in time. The way the ref moved it back, that could be against the Red Hounds.
Yeah, it looks like it may be going against the Hounds right here. And again, every inch, every yard, so important. And, you know, going backwards right here on the penalty. So, again, we talked about no turnovers. We talked about no penalties. And, unfortunately for the Hounds, they've had a little bit of both right here early in this first quarter.
Holding the call against Corbin. Happened midway through the run, so it's not a complete 1st and 20. They are going to move the football back right about the 12-yard line. 1st and about 16. Corbin can't afford to get behind the chains here, trailing 14-0. Desperately need points on the scoreboard right now.
Yeah, exactly. Got to attack the Golden Eagles right here. Got to move the football. Got to make something happen right here on offense.
Combs in the gun, twin wideouts each way. Huffs is running back offset to the right. Johnson Central showing blitz, and they bring it. Back to pass.
There we go.
Fires over the middle, hits Patterson on the post, and he drops it. Incomplete.
Wow, tough break right there. You know, Dakota Patterson running a great route. Cam Combs throwing a great football. And, you know, it is cold out there. But, unfortunately for the Hounds, brings up a 2nd and long right here, 2nd and 16 with 53 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
Incomplete makes it 2nd and 16. Corbin may look at running the football here. Twin wideouts each way. Combs in the shotgun. Huff to his right. Golden Eagles walking up linebackers for the blitz. Corbin back to pass. Combs loads up. Fires down the right sideline, trying to
find
Patterson. Hold it and caught at the 40. Down to the 35-yard line of Johnson Central. Dakota Patterson. Welcome back to the field.
Wow, great job right there. Cam Combs got great protection from the offensive line, set his feet, and threw a strike to number 11, Dakota Patterson. Good to see Dakota running full speed down that right sideline, making the catch. Just what the Hounds offense needed to kind of get that spark going right here before the first quarter comes to an end.
Patterson, the number 1 wide receiver in the state of Kentucky in his class, 4-star recruit, showing you why tonight on the streak route. Corbin got it 1st and 10 at the Johnson Central 33-yard line. Combs in the shotgun, twin wideouts each way. Huffing it running back to the right. Fakes the handoff, fires over the middle, in and out of the hands of Stewart. Incomplete on the post pattern.
Yeah, Carter Stewart again running a good route. Cam Combs throwing a good ball, but just unfortunately the defensive back for the Golden Eagles kind of getting a hand in right there. But Carter Stewart has had a great season. You know, caught 12 balls, 205 yards on the season. You know, been a really kind of that really big weapon for the Hounds as well. So, you know, look for the Hounds to maybe go back to Carter Stewart later in this football game.
Same formation for the Hounds. They've been going 4 wide early on right now. Combs in the shotgun. Handoff goes to Huff, straight ahead, plowing through the defense. Up to the 28-yard line. That's going to pick up about a gain of 4 or 5 on the carry. The spot, they're only going to give him 3.
Yeah, tough spot right there.
What?
Yeah, would have said it would have brought to a 3rd and manageable, like you said, Ronnie, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 4 right there in the first quarter right here.
That's the end of the first quarter. After 1 in the books, Corbin trails Johnson Central 14-0. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Our world has dramatically changed over the past couple of years. We've all had to adjust to these changing times. But one thing has not changed is the fact that the Hart family and Tri-County Cycle Sales is still serving southeastern Kentucky with the same quality products and service after the sale since 1968. Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Polaris are the biggest names in off-road adventure and still can be found at Tri-County Cycle Sales. For your next ATV or side-by-side, stop by the place where time has stood still. Tri-County Cycle Sales, located between Corbin and London on US 25 across from Kentucky Outdoorsman.
The magical season of fall is here with cooler temperatures and shorter days, and that means two things: hunting season and it's football time in the Bluegrass. So before you plan your next hunting or fishing trip, stop by southeastern Kentucky's #1 hunting and fishing headquarters, Kentucky Outdoorsman. It's national buying power with the same family-owned small-town customer service to which you've become accustomed. Get equipped for your next outdoor adventure at Kentucky Outdoorsman, located on US Highway 25 between Corbin and London next to Tri-County Cycle Sales.
Start of the second quarter, Corbin trailing Johnson Central 14-0. They have the ball and driving 3rd and 6 at the Johnson Central 29-yard line. Combs in the shotgun, trips to the right, twins to the left, brings Huff in motion. False start going to go against Corbin. Now changes very much the dynamic of this play call.
Yeah, tough break right there. You know, the Hounds kind of moving early right there. And again, instead of a 3rd and about 7, 3rd and 8, you know, creates that 3rd and long. So Hounds behind the chains right here. But, you know, again, fortunately for the Hounds offense, able to move the ball around, able to kind of spread the football out. So look for the Hounds and Cam Combs and company to really, you know, kind of stretch the field, throw the football down the field, maybe take a strike right here on 3rd and about 12.
Corbin able to move the football, just need to clean up a couple mistakes. Drops, penalties, things of that nature. 4 wide receivers, trips to the right, 1 wide receiver to the left. Longmire in single coverage at the top of the field. Combs back to pass, pump fakes. Now fires over the middle, overfires Stewart, incomplete. Now 4th and long from the Johnson Central 35.
Yeah, 4th and long right here, and like you said, about the 35, so be interested to see, you know, what Coach Greer does right here. 4th and 12. Looks like he's going to send Jacob Baker on the field maybe to do the punting duties right here. Try to pin the Golden Eagles really, really deep, make them go the length of the field.
That indeed looks to be the call. 4th down at the Johnson Central 35. Baker has been good here.
That's right.
On field goal tries. He's actually been good from 51. This would be a 52-yard attempt if he tried it. Hounds nonetheless in punt formation. Baker fields the snap. High end over end kick, going to try to turn it over and pin the Eagles. It's going to land and take a neutral bounce. It'll be killed at the Johnson Central 12-yard line. So good field position, good punt there from Baker. That's what you need. You don't need a big booming kick. You need the end over end kick to get the bounce.
Yeah, really almost, you know, did a great job kind of flipping the field right there and pinning the Golden Eagles deep. And do want to give a shout out tonight to Mr. Paul Jones and my father-in-law, Mr. Bob Mitchell, listen to the game tonight on the stream, the T1073.com. So great to have you guys listening tonight right there. And just want to give a shout out right here, you know, in the Red Hound radio booth in this football game.
Johnson Central takes the field, 3rd possession of the night. 1st and 10 from their own 12-yard line. Double wing formation for the Eagles. Fullback dive going across the right side.
There we go.
Not a lot of running room there. He does keep his feet moving up to the 15. Picks up 3 yards on the carry.
Yeah, and again, Evan Poor coming up the corner for the Hounds, number 15, to make the hit. And again, I know it's 11 minutes, 30 seconds to go until halftime, so a long way to go right here. Hounds down 14-0. But again, I want to talk about how the Hounds have been great hitters. You know, very physical football. I know the Golden Eagles play physical football as well, so will be kind of an interesting battle to kind of see who wins that contest tonight.
Johnson Central up to the line. 2 running backs in behind, split back formation, twin wide receivers to the right, tight end to the right. Fakes the handoff. Now quarterback keeper across the left side. That's the weak side. He's got the 1st down on the carry up to his own 21-yard line.
Yeah, and again, you see right there, you know, kind of how this offense kind of rolls, if you will. You know, you feed the fullback, you kind of, you know, get some yards in there, and then all of a sudden you fake to the fullback and keep it around the left side. And again, that kind of goes to what, you know, we were talking about in the pregame. play assignment football, know where everybody's at. You got to trust your brother, trust your guy in there to make his play, and then, you can make your play. So Hounds dialing in right here on 3rd and 1.
3rd and inches. Rice under center, handoff across the right side, big hole. He's going to march it up to his own 35-yard line, gain of 15 on the carry. Another first down for Johnson Central.
Yeah, just moving the chains again. Eagles up 14-0 right here. 10:48 left in this second quarter. So Hounds defense kind of still playing that assignment football, that read and react football. Hounds, did add the defensive lineman up front, have the 5-man front, but definitely going to have to probably bring a blitz to get a stop right here.
1st and 10 at the Johnson Central 35. Drive started on their own 12. Often moving early here. One wide receiver split out each way. Flat motion. Hand off to the fullback across the right side.
There we
He's
go.
going to be hit by Neal at the line of scrimmage. He will stretch out, though, for a gain of 2 or 3.
Yeah, another 2 or 3, a tough 2 or 3 right there for number 48 for the fullback for the Golden Eagles, number 48, Chase Price. But right there, Mikey Neal coming up, making the hit. And again, a big hit. So good to see the Hounds really kind of laying it to the Golden Eagles every time they touch the football on offense.
Yeah, physicality going to be the key. Johnson
That's right.
Central doesn't have the numbers Corbin has. This is a 4-quarter football game. Kind of a power eye look for the Golden Eagles. Fakes the handoff. Now it's a quarterback keeper. Going to take a shot at the 40-yard line. Going to give him an extra yard on the stretch out. The spots are aggravating.
Yeah,
Up to the 41-yard line, though. Set up 3rd and about 4.
Yeah, tough spots right here. A 3rd and 4, like you said, Ronnie. Seth Mills coming up, making a big hit on the quarterback for the Golden Eagles. But again, a really, really important 3rd down. Hounds need to, again, find the runner really in a hurry, make a hit, maybe bring a blitz, whatever you got to do. Get the Golden Eagles in 4th and long right here.
3rd down and 4. Twin wideouts to the right. Broken wishbone behind Rice. He's under center. He kept it to the weak side on 3rd down and play a go. Now it's fullback dive. Quarterback keeper. He's got the first down into the 50 to the 45. Hounds behind him. He's going to stagger down to the Corbin 35-yard line. Gain of about 20 on the quarterback keeper. Johnson Central now has the ball in Red Hound territory.
Yeah, another tough break right there. Again, we saw the fake right there to number 48, the fullback, Chase Price, and then number 11 for Johnson Central, Grant Rice, the QB, kind of keeps it up in there behind, and a lot of the Hounds defense kind of closes in on the fullback, but nobody home right there. Grant Rice, number 11, keeps the football, moves the chains again for the Golden Eagles.
1st and 10 at the Corbin 34-yard line. Rice under center, wishbone formation behind him. 2 tight ends in the football game. Corbin showing blitz, and they bring it. Counter handoff across the right. Find some running room. Flag comes a-flying on the play. Now, this could be a very big call on this drive.
Yeah, exactly. And you talk about the penalties coming into play.
Holding against Johnson Central.
Really big penalty right there against the Golden Eagles, especially, leaning so heavy at 95% of the time on the run game. You want to get the Golden Eagles behind the chains, and right there with that flag, the Hounds do just that. So really good, big opportunity right here to, kind of capitalize on that penalty for the Golden Eagles.
That'll set up 1st and 20. Penalty will mark them back to the Corbin 49-yard line. This is an offense not built to go 20 yards at a time. They have broke off big runs, but definitely in the wheelhouse of Corbin now.
That's right, yeah. Leaning heavy towards the Hounds defense. Need to get a stop when you're down 14-0 right here.
Corbin showing blitz. Johnson Central going with the jet sweep towards the
sideline.
There we go. Nothing there. Might have got a yard on the carry. That goes right into the strength of Corbin's defense. Very fast and athletic from sideline to sideline.
Yeah, exactly, Ronnie. You talked about that. The Hounds being great sideline to sideline. And we saw Evan Poore right there, number 15 for the Hounds, making contact, getting instant separation from the blocker, and then coming off and making the hit. So really good job right there by the Hounds defense and number 15, Evan Poore.
2 yards on the carry, still very long to go. Johnson Central has to get it down to the Corbin 25-yard line. They're sitting at the 46 right now. 2nd and 21, wishbone formation for the Eagles. Rice, reverse, going towards the right. Trying to find some running room.
There we go.
Not going to find it. Knocked down at the 41-yard line. Picks up about 5 or 6, still sets up 3rd and about 18.
Exactly where the Hounds defense wants to keep the Golden Eagles in 3rd and long. Brody Wells, Jacob Baker coming up to make the play. So, it plays into the Hounds defense right here. Hounds defense needs to get off the field right here. 7:20 left in this second quarter. Hounds down 14-0. So, huge play right here for the Hounds defense.
Johnson Central checks a receiver into the football game. Kind of be in passing situation here. Only 30 pass attempts on the season. Rice in the shotgun. They don't go here a lot. 4 wide receivers on the field for the Eagles. Flag coming flying. There's a 0 on the play clock. It's got to be delay a game, I would imagine.
There we go.
Dead ball, delay a game, the call going against Johnson Central. It's now going to be 3rd and 23 for the Golden Eagles.
Yeah, big flag again, another 5 yards, and you don't see in the T107 broadcast booth, you don't see us pulling for penalties a lot, but every single inch, every single inch matters tonight.
Let's take it.
Exactly, take every single inch, every single yard, and great to see the Eagles moving back right here, creating this 3rd and long for the Hounds defense.
Eagles sub back into their base package. See if they'll go with a similar base set on 3rd and long. Could be looking here. Now there's a dead ball timeout on the field. See what's going on. It looks like they're making an adjustment to the game clock on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I think so right here. And again, you just got to, remind your cornerbacks, remind your safeties, especially in 3rd and long. They may attempt to throw the ball. They haven't much all season, but remember the pass right here. You don't want to get caught asleep if you're the Hounds defense right here. Let that front 7, that front 8 control the line of scrimmage. If they gain a few yards right here, no big deal. You can reset on 4th down, but make sure, corners and safeties are aware of the pass right here.
Actually had to reset the spot of the ball. They hadn't marked off the penalty yardage on the delay of game. Now it's 3rd and 22. Johnson Central under center, 1 wide receiver each way. Flat motion from the wing. Rice back to pass. Loads up to fire down the right sideline.
There we
out of
go.
bounds and incomplete. Corbin defense holds. 4th down. Johnson Central brings their punting unit onto the field.
Yeah, really good job right there. Hounds defense kind of used the penalty, used the big hits, kind of work in their favor right here. And Hounds going to get the football back, in this second quarter. 6 minutes, 50 seconds. Plenty of time for the Hounds to respond right here, down 14-0. And you mentioned, Ronnie, you respond right here, you put points on the board, and then the Hounds get the ball at the half. So really big possession offensively coming up for the Hounds right here.
Got some confusion from the Golden Eagles. Not enough men on the field. Rice does handle punting duties for the Golden Eagles. Got to be ready for the fake. Corbin kind of sitting in a fake set. Fields the snap. Puts the toe to it. He shanks
there
it
we
off
go.
his right foot to the right. Sails into the Campbell Field seats.
Wow.
See where they mark it down. Looks like right around the Corbin 40-yard line. So great break there for Corbin. Excellent opportunity to punch one in the end zone here, starting on their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, huge opportunity right here. You get the bad punt by the Golden Eagles. It's time for the Hounds offense to attack, take advantage of your field position right here, and put points on the board offensively for the Hounds.
Official spot going to go out at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, ball on the left hash. Combs opens up in the shotgun, twin wide receivers each way. Huff remains in at running back. Stacked up behind now. He's going to rest to Combs' right. Handoff going to go.
There he
Huff
goes.
Up the middle, up to the 40, up to the 50, lowers his shoulder, trucks the corner down into Johnson Central territory at the Golden Eagle 47-yard line. Big gain there from Seth Huff, the bell cow running back for Corbin this year.
Yeah, huge gain right there. Like I said a minute ago, big players make big plays. Seth Huff ready to go tonight right here before the halftime.
1st down, a result of the run. Corbin now in Johnson Central territory. 1st and 10 at the Golden Eagle 46-yard line. 6:27 remaining in the half. Corbin trailing 14-0. Are driving with the ball. Twin wideouts each way. Huff remains in at running back, standing to Combs' left. Fakes the handoff, fires over the middle, trying to find Curry on the slant route. Way too hard. Zips it past Curry, incomplete.
Yeah, really almost threw the fastball right there.
Yeah.
So, just, a good little simple throw. Of course, you fake the ball, a little play action to Seth Huff. Linebacker's going to kind of collapse and then create that window there across the field. But, unfortunately for the Hounds, unable to complete the pass. Would have been a big gain right there on 1st down.
Combs has a big arm.
Yes.
Might need to dial some heat off of that slant route, though. He empties the backfield on 2nd and 10. Trips to the right, twins to the left. Quarterback draw up the gut. Going to be hit at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Now Corbin, what started as a good drive, staring down the barrel of 3rd and 10.
Yeah, third down right here, 3rd and long, 3rd and 10, like you said, Ronnie. So big play. Hounds need to find a way, find a play. I'm sure Coach Elam has one in his back pocket ready to go, but you got to find a play. You got to find a way to move the chains right here going in towards halftime.
3rd and 10, noise rising at Campbell Field. Combs in the shotgun. Trips to his right. Back to pass on 3rd down. Blitz is coming.
There we go.
Screen. Hauled into Huff at the 40, at the 35, down to the 30, runs over a defender at the 20, down to the 20-yard line. Seth Huff on the screen reception. Big gain from the double deuce.
Yes, the double deuce right there. Big players, again, make big plays. And, again, Cam Combs doing a great job kind of holding on to the football as long as possible and delivers it to Seth Huff. And then a couple big offensive linemen. Give those guys credit out there mowing down the defense for the Johnson Central Golden Eagles. So, huge play right there, taking kind of advantage of the aggressiveness of the Golden Eagle defense.
Great call there to tide the screen. Combs to the line, 1st and 10 at the 21. Huff's going to get the handoff up the middle. He'll stagger forward for a gain of 2 or 3. And those 2 and 3 yard gains, they're important in games like this.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Ronnie. You know, you're banging on people, you're beating on people, and again, trying to assert your will, assert your type of way you play football. And again, Hounds always being physical all season long. The number one thing Coach Greer wants his offense, defense, special teams to be is physical. So good to see the Hounds up in there hitting people hard inside the line of scrimmage.
Actually going to give him 5 yards on the carry. Twin wideouts on the field. To the right, one to the left. Sings Curry in motion. Handoff goes to Huff across the left side. Big hole at the 10. Fighting towards the goal line. Not going to get in. He's about 2 yards away. 1st and goal, Corbin at the Johnson Central 2.
Yeah, just what the Hounds needed right there. Another good physical run, kind of wearing down the defensive front for the Golden Eagles. Again, the double deuce, Seth Huff, strikes off the left side and almost rolls into the end zone to put points on the board. So, again, Hounds 4:06, 4:05 and counting, left till halftime, down 14-0. Really, really important to put points on the board right here.
1st and goal at the Johnson Central 2. Corbin needs a touchdown here. Trips to the right. Longmire to the left. Huff is the running back. Combs going to keep it himself. Fighting for the end zone. Will he get in? Ball comes out. Johnson Central's recovered it. I think they're going to blow this one dead, though. Looks like he was close to the goal line. We're not getting a lot of calls here from the officiating crew.
Yeah, a tough spot right there. You're exactly right. Thought he was in the end zone.
This should be a touchdown or a turnover,
yes,
right?
But a touchdown.
Now they're going to finally signal a touchdown, Red Hounds.
Yeah.
Cameron Combs from 2 yards out. My goodness, ref, throw us a hand sign,
Exactly. I mean, give us a little help up here. But, Cam Combs up in there hitting it in and thought he had the touchdown. I guess kind of released the ball.
It's a touchdown or a turnover.
Exactly. Exactly. So Hounds desperately needing a touchdown and pick it up right there. Can cut the lead in half, pinning this extra point right here.
Much needed score. Baker on for the extra point try. Snap is low, but it's handled. Kick is up and away. Bangs it through the uprights and good. 3:39 remaining in the first half of play. Corbin trailing 14-7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
I need 3 garlic butter bacon burgers.
Coming right up.
Will someone grab me some more cheese?
Keep that garlic butter coming.
Burger up.
Order up. Sonic garlic butter bacon burger. I need a Mocha Crunch Blast, please. You got it.
I'm on the Mocha Fudge.
We're gonna need more espresso chunks.
Order up.
Sonic Mocha Crunch Blast.
Tell him.
3:39 remaining in the first half of play. Corbin trails Johnson Central 14-7. Hounds finally find the end zone. Cam Combs touchdown run from 2 yards out. Got your score 14-7. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. Region title on the line.
Yes, let's go. Let's go.
Corbin and Johnson Central, no strangers to each other. Golden Eagles sent the Hounds to the house in this game a year ago. Baker approaches, puts the toe to it. It's a high end-over-end kick careening towards the right sideline. It's going to sail out of bounds. Corbin going to be flagged for illegal procedure. Johnson Central will take over on their own 35-yard line.
Yeah, tough break right there for the Hound special teams. Jacob Baker been great all season long, of course, but unfortunately, one goes out of bounds for the Hound special teams. But again, you reset right here, 3:39 left in the second quarter. Hounds able to put points on the board, kind of get Johnson Central, put a little pressure on, and we saw the defense respond on the last defensive series for the Hounds. So look for the Hounds to really dial it in, try to get Johnson Central again behind the chains right here.
Illegal procedure, again the call. Kickoff went out of bounds. Johnson Central take over on their own 35-yard line. 3:39 remaining in the first half. Corbin does get the football back to start the second half. Rice under center, wishbone formation behind him. One wide receiver on the field. Belly handoff across the right side. Not a lot of running room there. Going to get a wonderful spot for him up to the 42-yard line. Going to pick up about 2 or 3 on the carry nonetheless. It's up 2nd and 7. Clock will continue to run.
Yeah, again, second about 7 right here. 3:19 left to go before halftime. Hounds starting to do a little bit better job finding the runner in there. So good to see the Hounds defensive front playing a kind of smart assignment football. But again, Hounds defense dialing it up right here. May see Coach Greer go to some kind of blitz to get the Johnson Central Golden Eagles off schedule.
Rice under center, wishbone behind him. Counter trap across the right side. Going to be tackled from behind up to his own 44-yard line. Picks up about 5 or 6. Now that sets up 3rd and 2. Corbin has all 3 timeouts.
That's
here.
right.
2:45 left. This third down becomes big. Coach Greer has dialed up a couple run blitzes.
That's right.
Doesn't like to blitz usually strategically, but he may do so here on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, 3rd and 2 right here. You're exactly right. And you mentioned, too, the Golden Eagles only, I think, have 1 timeout left.
That's
with
it.
the Hounds with 3. So definitely could come into play right here. 2:25 and counting towards halftime.
Wishbone formation behind Rice. He resets the tight end to the right. They've been going to the weak side here on 3rd down. Quarterback keeper up the gut. I think he's got the first down by a couple yards. Surges ahead up to the 47-yard line. Gain of 4. That's enough to move the sticks. 1st and 10.
Yeah, again, moving the chains right there. And, Johnson Central right on schedule as how they like to play football. Time of possession, pound away. And, again, we talked about it defensively. Hounds just need to, kind of like they did last time, even with the penalty, get the Johnson Central Golden Eagles off schedule on 1st and 2nd down.
Power I formation. ISO handoff going right up the gut. He slips a couple tackles. He's off to the races at the 30. Finally going to be tackled down from behind. Not before he gets down the Red Hound red zone, right around the 17-yard line. Now the benefit of the clock flipping over to Johnson Central.
Yeah, that's right. And Jacob Baker able to, finally track the runner down right there. But again, almost it looks like the Golden Eagles inside kind of that red zone, inside the 20-yard line, looking to try to attack and put points on the board again for the Golden Eagles.
Timeout Corbin, 1:37 left in the first half of play. It's Johnson Central 14, Corbin 7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Dreaming about enjoying time on the lake but need a boat? Or planning a road trip but not sure which RV is right for you and your family? Wildcat RV and Marine can help. With our selection of Keystone and Crossroads RVs and Mercury Low boats, we can get you in the great outdoors. We're a family-owned RV and Marine dealer with professionally trained sales and service departments. Our staff is committed to helping you find the perfect RV or boat and keep it on the road or in the water. Wildcat RV and Marine, just off I-75 in Corbin, or online at wildcatrvandmarine.com.
1:37 remaining in the second quarter. Corbin trails Johnson Central 14-7. Golden Eagles have it 1st and 10 at the Red Hound 18-yard line. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth right now. Johnson Central 1 timeout remaining. They're up 14-7. Corbin does get the football back to start the second half. Very crucial drive for Corbin's defense right here to stay in this football game early.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we say all the time, you know, this possession or that possession is huge. But, you know, to me, in this first half, you know, this possession right here for the Hounds is one of the biggest, you know, of the football game. So Hounds got to have a stop right here.
Double wing formation for Johnson Central. Fullback in behind Rice. He'll get the call across the left side. Not a lot of running room there. Joe Brown going to lead the charge for the Hounds. No gain on the carry.
Yeah, exactly. Joe Brown right there finding his way, you know, hit number 48 Chase. Looks like number 48 Chase Price in the backfield. So good job there by number 54 Joe Brown.
Golden Eagles up to the line quickly. ISO formation across the left side. Huge hole. He's going to punch it in for the touchdown.
Wow.
Man, they're killing on the ISO.
Yeah, just, you know, running it at will right there. Again, you know, you got to stop the run. You got to send a run blitz. You got to, you know, make plays. But, again, just Johnson Central having their way up front against the Hounds defense.
Johnson Central's loaded up and gone to that power eyes, the adjustment, running the ISO and the power off of the A and the B gaps.
That's
there.
right.
Had a lot of success on the ground.
Yeah, you know, again, tough break right there. You know, we saw the fullback 48 Chase Price hit it up in there, and then you follow him with the running back. And just hard to find him in there, and a good job by the Golden Eagles.
Kick is up and away. It's good. 1:09 left in the first half. Johnson Central leads 21-7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
If you're looking for a better night's sleep, Sammy's Furniture has the perfect mattress for you. Whether it's combining the support of an innerspring mattress with the comfort of memory foam with a Sealy Hybrid, or the all-night cooling of the new Tempur-Pedic Breeze, or the unparalleled design and craftsmanship of a Stearns & Foster, Sammy's Furniture is here to help you find a mattress that won't break your back or your budget. That's Sammy's Furniture and Sleep Shop, open 7 days a week. Visit our store to find your perfect mattress today.
1:09 remaining in the first half of play. Corbin trails Johnson Central 21-7 here at Campbell Field. Region final on the line. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. Right now, JB, Johnson Central pretty much doing what they want offensively. The run game of the Golden Eagles as good as advertised.
Yeah, exactly. You know, again, just pounding the football, moving the football so far at will. So tough break for the Hounds defense right there.
Ball's teed up. Actually a low line drive kick. It was teed up. It's going to be fumbled. Finally recovered at the 10 by Wells. Going to try to find some running room across the right side. Find some
there
at
we
the
go.
left sideline.
Huge.
At the 40, at the 50, at the 40, at the 30. Flag down on the play. 20, 10, 5. He's going to walk it in for the touchdown, barring the flag, standing back at the Corbin 30-yard line.
Man, I tell you, a great return right there, but looks like, you know, probably going to come back right here. But tough break again for the Hounds, you know, if this football comes back. But great return special teams, just what the Hounds needed. But, again, we talk about the penalties. We talk about the turnovers. Unfortunately, yeah, again, the White Hat marking the Hounds off. Going to come back right here.
Holding the call against Corbin, going to negate the touchdown run, the touchdown return. Brody Wells took that one back to the house on the assistance of an illegal block, though, according to the refs.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't even see the block right there, but officials saw something, throw the flag. Again, 53 seconds to go right here. Hounds down 21-7 before halftime. Again, though, the timeouts may come into play right here. You know, Hounds, you know, got their timeouts ready to go. So, you know, look for the Hounds to attack offensively. See if they can put some points on the board to cut into this Johnson Central lead right here.
21-7, 53 seconds remaining. Corbin has two timeouts remaining. Took one on defense. Top-rated kicker in the Commonwealth of Kentucky right now, and Jacob Baker. Looks like Corbin may, and actually Johnson Central going to burn their final timeout of the half. We're going to keep it right here with 53 seconds remaining in the first half. Again, your score 21-7. Corbin still has benefited two timeouts. Have a great kicker in Baker.
Yes.
Would love to see Corbin go to the locker room with points here, either by virtue of field goal or touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you need to attack right here. I'm sure Coach Elam, Coach Greer going to come out and try to put points on the board. And so, you know, you want to be aggressive. 53 seconds to go right here before halftime. Like you mentioned, you know, two timeouts to work with. So look for Coach Elam to come out right here firing.
Corbin breaks the huddle. Johnson Central still huddled up on their sideline, enjoying a 21-7 lead. We saw kind of a similar game up in Whitesburg a year ago.
Yes.
Paintsville a year ago. Johnson Central jumped out on Corbin early. Corbin kind of slowly chipped away at that lead with the passing game. So 2 halves of football. Corbin really needs to respond here. You don't want to go in there down 2 scores.
Yeah, 2 scores, and again, we mentioned it a couple times. Hounds get the ball at half, too, so would be huge if the Hounds can put points on the board right here.
Wide open box for Johnson Central. Combs back to pass. Going to be blown dead here. Flag down on the play. Dead ball, false start going against Corbin. Makes it 1st and 15.
Man, another tough break again, and, another 5 yards back for the Hounds offense. And, again, like we said, Hounds down 21-7 right here. 51 seconds to go before half. Hounds desperately needing to, put points on the board right here. Again, you mentioned it, Ronnie, though. Only the second quarter. You got to play 4 quarters. We've seen it all season long. Coach Greer, Coach Elam, Coach Mills make great adjustments at halftime. So, get to look at things at halftime, make a few adjustments, and come out firing.
1st and 15 at the Corbin 17-yard line. Combs in the shotgun with trips. Back to pass, under pressure, throws the screen to Huff, hauls it in and caught at the 30. Finally tackled from behind, right around the 35-yard line. That should be more than enough for a first down. Corbin. Clock is stopped at 45 seconds.
Yeah, again, real good job right there on the screenplay to Seth Huff and moving the chains. Hounds moving, of course, in hurry-up offense.
Screen been the big play tonight for Corbin, tiding this Johnson Central pass rush. 40 seconds remaining. Combs up to the line with 4 wide receivers. Back to pass. Clean pocket. Sets the throw. Fires. Got Patterson on the comeback route at the 40. Kind of retreats there, but the result of the play is enough for a Red Hound first down. Comes back to the football. Couldn't get his momentum directed the other way. Corbin's going to burn one of its 2 timeouts here.
Yeah, a good reception right there. Good pitch and catch from Cam Combs to Dakota Patterson right there. But again, looks like the chains are going to move. Hounds use that timeout. But Hounds, again, doing pretty good right here. Offense moving the football.
Corbin should have 1 timeout remaining in their employ. Some officiating crews don't always do the most hand signaling.
That's
so
right.
I could not tell who took the timeout at the start of this drive.
That's right.
It looked like Johnson Central, couldn't readily tell. But if that's true, Corbin should have 1 timeout remaining.
I think so. I think the Hounds, like you said, have one remaining. And, closing in on midfield right here. Still 28 seconds to go. So I'm sure, on this first down play, again, Hounds going to be really, really aggressive. Coach Elam dialing up a play to try to really put pressure on the Johnson Central Golden Eagles. Look for the Hounds to look to their weapons to stretch the field. Travion Longmire, Dakota Patterson, who we just saw right there, coming out in this set, looking to attack the Golden Eagles.
Tight trips to the right. Longmire to the left. Combs in the shotgun. Back to pass. Clean pocket. Loads up and fires, trying to find Curry over his head and incomplete down the right sideline. Clock stops at 24 seconds.
Yeah, tough break again for the Hounds right there. Curry unable to come up with the football. Cam Combs firing it out to the right side. And, Hounds reset right here, 2nd and 10. Again, close to midfield. And you mentioned Jacob Baker. The Hounds move the football down there at 15, 20, 25 yards. Could be in Jacob Baker range, no doubt about it, right here before the half.
2nd and 10, 24 seconds remaining on the game clock. Trips to the left, 1 wide receiver to the right. Johnson Central in its nickel defense. Combs loads up and fires. Over
there
the
we
middle,
go.
got Curry at the 50. At the 45, hurdles a defender down to the Johnson Central 40-yard line. Clock's going to stop at 17 seconds. Corbin needs to get to the ball and kill it here.
Yeah, I think so. Really good job right there. Hounds kind of finding that middle kind of seam route right there, doing a great job. Looks like you're exactly right, going to kill it right here.
Comes under center, takes the snap, and throws it into the dirt. Burns off about a second off the play clock. That's a heads-up play by Curry, by the way. I don't know if you saw what he did there.
Yeah.
He got up and threw the ball to the far line judge.
That's right.
Prevented
That's right.
the ball from getting spotted so his offense could get up there to kill the clock.
Yeah, exactly, and that just goes all the way in on playing smart football, whether it comes down to a penalty, a turnover, or even something like you said right there, Ronnie, just Curry getting the football over to the officials. So, Hounds being really, really smart right there.
14 seconds remaining. Corbin has it 2nd and 10 at the Johnson Central 40-yard line. Trips to the left. Longmire isolated by himself to the right in double coverage. Combs back to throw. Steps up into the pocket. Going to have to scramble out to the left. Now retreating, trying to find some running room. Finds Huff on the check down at the 40.
There he goes.
Gonna try to get out of bounds, and he does. There should be time remaining on the clock. They're going to blow this one dead, but he should have a second or two left
I
on
would
the
think
game
so.
clock. They're spotting the football. Can't tell. Johnson Central goes running to the locker room, trying to see what the official call is here, but I think he stepped out with about a second remaining in the game.
Yeah, I thought so.
Half,
yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, looking at the clock right there, looked like there was a little bit of time on the clock. So officials talking about it and may give the Hounds another play, deservedly so right here.
They're going to discuss it. Heads up play. Coach Trimble runs his troops to the locker room as fast as
That's
humanly
right. That's
possible.
right. That's right. Yeah, trying to get out of the half right there. But I think, in all honesty, it looked like to me, and it looked like to you, obviously, the Hounds had a little bit of time on the clock right there.
I think they did. It was about a second, maybe less than a second. I'm going to give them 2 seconds here. This is in Baker's field goal range. It would be a good opportunity for him to try it.
Think so. I think you just called it right here. Baker coming on the field.
26-yard ball resting on the 26-yard line. That is going to be, I'm not even going to try that.
Yeah.
It's a 40-yard plus attempt. I think that's about a
43-yard
try.
yeah.
Baker's good from 51 this year. 2 seconds remaining.
Definitely in Jacob Baker's range, and again, we mentioned Jacob Baker, huge weapon. Later in this football game, this play right here could determine how this football game ends up in the win column for either team.
Absolutely. Corbin doing some trickery here. I think we could have a trick play on the horizon. Now Corbin going to burn a timeout. We'll see what they were doing. It looked like maybe they were setting up a trick play.
Yeah.
2 seconds remaining. We're going to keep it right here. They were calling Baker over to the sideline. Sometimes you see the old snake in the grass play there.
That's right. That's
Especially
right.
when your backup quarterback, who is a great passer,
exactly,
is your holder. Corbin going to burn the timeout, though. That was indeed not the play. That's good. That gives Baker a little time to rest and get his head cleared here.
Yeah,
43-yard field goal try.
Yeah, a long field goal right here again, but definitely in Jacob Baker's range. And you talked about number 23, Brandon Baker, going in motion. And, but again, probably just to kind of buy Jacob Baker a little time, get the special teams unit kind of in sync, ready to, make this field goal attempt right here. And it looks like, I think you mentioned, Ronnie, 43-yard field goal, but still a long field goal, but definitely in Jacob Baker's range.
Hounds back out on the field. Curry's your long snapper. Elam's your holder. Baker your kicker. Going to line up and try from 43 yards out. Snap is down. Kick is up and away. It's got the distance. Splits the uprights, and it's good.
There we go.
Jacob Baker sends the Hounds to the locker room with 3 points. Your halftime score, Johnson Central 21, Corbin 10. We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Hello, I'm Dr. Deidre Pennington, and I invite you to discover the difference at Pennington Wellness, Chiropractic, and Massage. We offer digital x-ray with instant imaging for the most specific solution to your problem. The Atlas orthogonal technique offers a gentle and precise adjustment with no twisting of the neck or spine. Pennington Wellness offers a family-friendly atmosphere.
Trust our Grammy. What do you do?
We've all been there, out and about, and you see someone and you just can't seem to remember their name. This happens to just about all of us, but it shouldn't with your doctor. Today, it is so convenient to see a provider who doesn't know your name, let alone your medical history. Your family needs a primary care provider who knows you and meets all of your family's needs. Jane's Family Practice is now open and located on Master Street in Corbin. Stop in for school physicals, women's care, men's health screenings, regular checkups, and when you just aren't feeling your best. Call and schedule an appointment today with Jane's Family Practice at 280-4000. That's 280-4000.
Appalachian Wireless and Samsung introduced a smartphone that everyone is flipping over, the Z Flip 3. Looking for something that stands out in the crowd amongst regular smartphones? Then the Z Flip 3 is the device for you. On the region's best service, Appalachian Wireless, the Z Flip 3 is an actual flip phone that, when opened, reveals a stunning 6.7-inch touchscreen for the best of both worlds. It's compact, powerful, and the most unique smartphone in the world. Get more information at AppalachianWireless.com. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
What's up, y'all? This is Chase Rice hanging outdoors with an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know, it's easy to tell who really loves the outdoors. For one thing, there's a rack on your car and a hitch on the back of your truck. There's a garage full of toys from wakeboards to dirt bikes. And there's a cooler full of Mountain Dew, always at the ready. Because when it's time to get out and do, you know, hit the lake or the deer stand, a cooler of Mountain Dew, that's as important a piece of outdoor gear as your four-wheeler or your fishing rod. Mountain Dew. Do the do.
Halftime here at Campbell Field. Johnson Central leads Corbin 21-10. JB, I think you got a big announcement for some title winners out there on the radio land.
Yeah, exactly. And again, just want to give a big shout out at halftime to Coach Brent Jackson, the head coach of the 8th grade Corbin Middle School football team. Again, winning back-to-back state titles. Won last year's state title in 2020, won this year in 2021, and again have won 24 straight football games and 2 back-to-back state titles, a total of 8 state championships for this Corbin Middle School football Hounds. So just wanted to give those guys a big shout out. Great job by Coach Jackson and the coaching staff, and of course the Corbin Middle School football players.
And we're here at the halftime break. Johnson Central 21, Corbin 10. Corbin will receive the football to start the second half of play. We're going to cut away for some corporate sponsor time. We'll be back in 6 minutes. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
What's your favorite thing about football time in Corbin? The hometown pride, the sound of the cannon that echoes through downtown Corbin with every point scored? Or is it the tradition of taking your family to Mi Casa before the game? In Corbin, it's all about tradition, and that's what you can count on at Mi Casa Mexican Restaurant. A family-friendly, delicious meal with every visit. Stop in and enjoy their patio and weekly specials. Good luck and go Hounds from Mi Casa of Corbin.
Hometown Bank is proud of their name because Hometown Bank is proud of the hometowns they're in. In fact, their name is their mission, which is to take care of the communities in which they work and live. Hometown Bank is always here to help, so if you're buying a house, remodeling your kitchen, or need a home equity loan to combine other debt, come see Hometown Bank and find out how easy working with a Hometown Bank can be. Visit the Hometown Bank nearest you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you've been in business since 1954, you have to be doing something right. At Owens Auto Repair, they believe in honesty, service, and that hard work can still get you somewhere. Owens offers a complete line of truck and auto parts, as well as their custom-made hydraulic hoses, weather guard toolboxes, utility beds, and Sherwin-Williams auto paint. They also offer auto repair for cars, trucks, and RVs, and of course have top name brand tires. And they do towing and recovery. Owens Auto Repair, located just down from Corbin High School on Cumberland Falls Highway.
Our world has dramatically changed over the past couple of years. We've all had to adjust to these changing times. But one thing has not changed is the fact that the Hart family and Tri-County Cycle Sales is still serving southeastern Kentucky with the same quality products and service after the sale since 1968. Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Polaris are the biggest names in off-road adventure and still can be found at Tri-County Cycle Sales. For your next ATV or side-by-side, stop by the place where time has stood still. Tri-County Cycle Sales, located between Corbin and London on US 25 across from Kentucky Outdoorsman.
The magical season of fall is here with cooler temperatures and shorter days, and that means two things: hunting season and it's football time in the bluegrass. So before you plan your next hunting or fishing trip, stop by southeastern Kentucky's #1 hunting and fishing headquarters, Kentucky Outdoorsman. It's national buying power with the same family-owned small-town customer service to which you've become accustomed. Get equipped for your next outdoor adventure at Kentucky Outdoorsman, located on US Highway 25 between Corbin and London, next to Tri-County Cycle Sales.
Would you rather eat in the car or eat at the dinner table at home?
Rather eat in the car.
You can turn on some tunes, dancing, eating. You know how weird we'd look if we did this at the kitchen table?
Sonic Wacky Pack.
Right now, we just having a good time.
I need 3 garlic butter bacon burgers.
Coming right up.
Will someone grab me some more cheese?
Keep that garlic butter coming.
Burger up.
Order up. Sonic garlic butter bacon burger.
Dreaming about enjoying time on the lake but need a boat? Or planning a road trip but not sure which RV is right for you and your family? Wildcat RV and Marine can help. With our selection of Keystone and Crossroads RVs and Mercury Low boats, we can get you in the great outdoors. We're a family-owned RV and Marine dealer with professionally trained sales and service departments. Our staff is committed to helping you find the perfect RV or boat and keep it on the road or in the water. Wildcat RV and Marine, just off I-75 in Corbin, or online at wildcatrvandmarine.com.
If you're looking for a better night's sleep, Sammy's Furniture has the perfect mattress for you. Whether it's combining the support of an innerspring mattress with the comfort of memory foam with a Sealy hybrid, or the all-night cooling of the new Tempur-Pedic Breeze, or the unparalleled design and craftsmanship of a Stearns & Foster, Sammy's Furniture is here to help you find a mattress that won't break your back or your budget. That's Sammy's Furniture and Sleep Shop, open 7 days a week. Visit our store to find your perfect mattress today.
Hello, I'm Dr. Deidre Pennington, and I invite you to discover the difference at Pennington Wellness, Chiropractic, and Massage. We offer digital x-ray with instant imaging for the most specific solution to your problem. The Atlas orthogonal technique offers a gentle and precise adjustment with no twisting of the neck or spine. Pennington Wellness has a friendly staff and relaxing spa-like atmosphere.
Trust our Grammy.
We do.
We've all been there, out and about, and you see someone and you just can't seem to remember their name. This happens to just about all of us, but it shouldn't with your doctor. Today, it is so convenient to see a provider who doesn't know your name, let alone your medical history. Your family needs a primary care provider who knows you and meets all of your family's needs. Jane's Family Practice is now open and located on Master Street in Corbin. Stop in for school physicals, women's care, men's health screenings, regular checkups, and when you just aren't feeling your best. Call and schedule an appointment today with Jane's Family Practice at 280-4000. That's 280-4000.
Appalachian Wireless and Samsung introduce the smartphone that everyone is flipping over, the Z Flip 3. Looking for something that stands out in the crowd amongst regular smartphones? Then the Z Flip 3 is the device for you. On the region's best service, Appalachian Wireless. The Z Flip 3 is an actual flip phone that, when opened, reveals a stunning 6.7-inch touchscreen for the best of both worlds. It's compact, powerful, and the most unique smartphone in the world. Get more information at AppalachianWireless.com. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
What's up, y'all? This is Chase Rice hanging outdoors with an ice-cold Mountain Dew. You know, it's easy to tell who really loves the outdoors. For one thing, there's a rack on your car and a hitch on the back of your truck. There's a garage full of toys from wakeboards to dirt bikes. And there's a cooler full of Mountain Dew, always at the ready. Because when it's time to get out and do, you know, hit the lake or the deer stand, a cooler of Mountain Dew, that's as important a piece of outdoor gear as your four-wheeler or your fishing rod. Mountain Dew. Do the do.
Johnson Central 21, Corbin 10. Corbin did cut that lead to 11 at the half. 43-yard field goal from Jacob Baker there right now. So Corbin gets the ball back at the half.
Yes.
Well within the range to keep this a good football game.
Yeah, exactly. 21-10 right here at halftime. And like you just mentioned, Corbin, the Hounds get the ball at halftime. So, Hounds come out. Again, we talked about it, make great adjustments. Coach Elam, Coach Greer, Coach Mills make great adjustments at halftime. Would not be surprised, Hounds come out, get the football, drive down, put points on the board right here, and really, put pressure on the Golden Eagles.
Looking at your halftime stats, Cam Combs 5 of 10, 110 yards through the air. Longmire had a reception for 6 yards. Patterson had two long receptions, one total 60 yards, one long ball reception.
That's
Huff
right.
had a catch for 27 yards. Curry's had a catch for 17 yards. In the rushing department, Seth Huff has had to carry the ball 6 times for 66 yards. Look to him to get the ball a lot more.
I think so.
In the second half, and Combs has carried the ball 1 time for 2 yards out and the touchdown score. That's your score, 7, and then 3 from Jacob Baker from 43 yards out at 21-10. The difference maker so far right now, JB, is the fumble.
Yeah, I think so. And we talked about that. JB, keys to the game. You can't have a lot of penalties. No fumbles, of course, in a big football game like this, a huge atmosphere. You got to take care of the rock. And unfortunately for the Hounds, we saw him put the football on the ground. And that's what, has kind of got the Hounds down on the scoreboard right here, 21-10. But, you just mentioned Seth Huff. You look at those stats. at halftime, 6 carries, 66 yards. Keep giving Seth Huff, I like to say the X factor, double deuce, the football, especially on this drive, wear down the front. And we did talk about that as well, Ronnie. I think there's 4 or 5 players for the Golden Eagles that play both sides of the football. So, like you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, definitely a third and fourth quarter football game tonight. So look for the Hounds to try to wear out the Golden Eagles right here in this second half.
5 minutes till we kick it back off here at Campbell Field. Again, your score, Johnson Central 21, Corbin 10. We'll be back in 3 minutes. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
What's your favorite thing about football time in Corbin? The hometown pride, the sound of the cannon that echoes through downtown Corbin with every point scored? Or is it the tradition of taking your family to Mi Casa before the game? In Corbin, it's all about tradition, and that's what you can count on at Mi Casa Mexican Restaurant. A family-friendly, delicious meal with every visit. Stop in and enjoy their patio and weekly specials. Good luck and go Hounds from Mi Casa of Corbin.
Hometown Bank is proud of their name because Hometown Bank is proud of the hometowns they're in. In fact, their name is their mission, which is to take care of the communities in which they work and live. Hometown Bank is always here to help, so if you're buying a house, remodeling your kitchen, or need a home equity loan to combine other debt, come see Hometown Bank and find out how easy working with a Hometown Bank can be. Visit the Hometown Bank nearest you. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you've been in business since 1954, you have to be doing something right. At Owens Auto Repair, they believe in honesty, service, and that hard work can still get you somewhere. Owens offers a complete line of truck and auto parts, as well as their custom-made hydraulic hoses, weather guard toolboxes, utility beds, and Sherwin-Williams auto paint. They also offer auto repair for cars, trucks, and RVs, and of course have top name brand tires. And they do towing and recovery. Owens Auto Repair, located just down from Corbin High School on Cumberland Falls Highway.
Our world has dramatically changed over the past couple of years. We've all had to adjust to these changing times. But one thing has not changed is the fact that the Hart family and Tri-County Cycle Sales is still serving southeastern Kentucky with the same quality products and service after the sale since 1968. Honda, Yamaha, Kawasaki, and Polaris are the biggest names in off-road adventure and still can be found at Tri-County Cycle Sales. For your next ATV or side-by-side, stop by the place where time has stood still. Tri-County Cycle Sales, located between Corbin and London on US 25 across from Kentucky Outdoorsman.
The magical season of fall is here with cooler temperatures and shorter days, and that means 2 things: hunting season and it's football time in the bluegrass. So before you plan your next hunting or fishing trip, stop by southeastern Kentucky's #1 hunting and fishing headquarters, Kentucky Outdoorsman. It's national buying power with the same family-owned small-town customer service to which you've become accustomed. Get equipped for your next outdoor adventure at Kentucky Outdoorsman, located on US Highway 25 between Corbin and London, next to Tri-County Cycle Sales.
I need a Mocha Crunch Blast, please. You got it.
I'm on the Mocha Crunch.
We're gonna need more espresso chunks.
Order up.
Sonic Mocha Crunch Blast.
Would you rather eat in the car or eat at the dinner table at home?
Rather eat in the car.
You can turn on some tunes, dancing, eating. You know how weird we'd look if we did this at the kitchen table?
Sonic Wacky Pack.
Right now, we just having a good time.
Right now at halftime, your score, Johnson Central 21, Corbin 10. Corbin will receive the kickoff to start the second half. And Corbin has been moving the football.
Yes.
Corbin has been moving the ball well through the air, moving it on the ground. The one fumble that Johnson Central capitalized on has been the difference in this football game right now. But Corbin cleans up these mistakes, still well within striking range to come back and win this game.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, you said the one turnover right there. And, again, Hounds get the ball right here coming out of half, of course. So, again, Coach Elam, Coach Greer, Coach Mills in there making a lot of adjustments. And, love the screenplay to Seth Huff. Love the screenplay, taking advantage of the aggressive nature of the Golden Eagles defense. It was a huge, huge play in that first half. But, again, look for the Hounds tonight. Again, second half, keep the Golden Eagles spread out, run the football. Seth Huff and company leading the Hounds down the field. But should be a really, really fun second half coming up.
Teams are on the field right now, stretching, warming up. We're going to cut away for what should be our final commercial break. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Thank you.
Last little bit before halftime here, these teams going to lock horns in the second half. Your score, Johnson Central 21, Corbin 10 at the half. Corbin was set to receive the football to start the second half. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. And right now, JB, the Hounds desperately need a score. Not a field goal.
That's right.
Score, a touchdown. Make this a 4-point game, possibly a 3-point game. I could see Corbin actually going for 2 here.
I think so.
Making it a field goal game. But that score changes the dynamic of this game entirely. Cannot give Johnson Central a football back.
No, you can. And you're right, Ronnie. Hounds need to come out here offensively, be aggressive, attack the Golden Eagles, put points on the board. It's, like you said, desperately need a score right here. And it changes, like you said, the whole football game. So, it kind of gives you that little bit of momentum that you need. And we saw the Hounds all season long. They've come in there, tie football game here, tie football game there, and done a great job making adjustments at halftime. So I looked for the Hounds to come out on the attack right here in this second half.
Ball teed up, teams on the field. Looks like Mills and Wells back deep to receive for Corbin. Wells took one to the house. It was called back on a hold. Kicks on the ground, takes a roll, fielded by Baker at his own 35-yard line. Not a lot of running room there, trying to tiptoe around, but good field position for the Hounds. They're going to take over 1st and 10 on their own 36.
Yeah, kick kind of down and dirty a little bit, almost kind of a little bit of a squib kick, but you're right. Hounds in really good field position right here, right around, like you said, 36-yard line. So, again, Coach Greer, Coach Mills come out and attack the Golden Eagles, put points on the board right here in this drive.
21-10 your score. Corbin has the football. First possession of the half. Combs is in the shotgun, trips to his right. One wide receiver to his left. Huff is to your left at running back. Fakes the handoff, now keeps it up the gut. Little read option play. Surges ahead, picks up 2 or 3 yards on the carry.
Yeah, 2 or 3 yards right there. Cam Combs done a great job running the football all season long. Has 64 carries, 545 yards on the season, 8 touchdowns just running the football. So Cam Combs, he can lower his shoulder. He can get up there and get tough yards as well.
Twin wide receivers split out each way on second down. Hard count. Johnson Central does not bite. 3 down linemen, 1 edge rusher walked up for Johnson Central. Combs makes a couple adjustments, 10 seconds on the play clock. Handoff going to go to Huff.
There we go.
The left side, trying to find some wiggle room, and does. Still fighting ahead. He extends the body. Picks up about 6 or 7 on the carry. Signal that's going to be enough for the Red Hound first down.
Yeah, a good run right there. Seth Huff behind the big offensive line for the Hounds. Doing a great job, Seth Huff. When he needs to lower the shoulder, he can get the tough yards. When he needs to be patient and make a couple guys miss inside, he can do that as well. Seth Huff making a couple guys miss right there for the Golden Eagle defense, moving the chains for the Hounds.
1st and 10 at the Corbin 47-yard line. Corbin going no huddle here, but not an up-tempo no huddle. That does keep the defense from substituting, though.
Yeah, it kind of keeps the substitutions down right there for the Golden Eagles. Hounds looking to attack right here on first down.
Twin wideouts each way for Combs. Huff remains in at running back, offset to the right. Combs back to pass. Fires on the out route, trying to find Longmire. Looks like a miscommunication there. Longmire cut in on the dig.
Yes.
Comes through the out. That's just a miscue between receiver and quarterback.
Yeah, a little miscommunication right there. And again, Cam Combs kind of throwing the fastball again and, trying to hit Travion out in the a little bit of almost a flat area there. But Hounds reset right here on second down, and I'm sure Mr. Huff going to see a carry or two in the next play or so right here.
2nd and 10. Corbin keeps 4 wide receivers on the field, twins each way. Huff offset to the right. Combs going to keep it himself up the gut. He's at the 50. Tackled from behind. Outstretched forward progress. Get down to the 47-yard line. Should be a pickup of about 7 or 6 or 7 on the quarterback keeper. Now it's going to be 3rd and about 4.
Yeah, good run right there. Cam Combs really taking it. Yeah, 3rd and 3. So good, really good run right there. Anytime you can run that quarterback in there, you get that extra blocker, and the Hounds take advantage right there, bringing up a 3rd and 3 right here.
3rd and 3, same formation for the Red Hounds. Combs back to pass, fires the slant pattern, got Patterson at the 40 down to the 38. That's enough for the first down, Red Hounds.
Really good job right there. Dakota Patterson kind of running a really quick slant route right there, making a good pitch and catch from Cam Combs, doing a great job. So Dakota Patterson really doing a good job in space, working right there to create that first down for the Hounds offense.
Good to see Patterson back in the rotation.
Yes, definitely.
Was out for a stomach bug for a substantial period of time. He's back in with 3 catches on the night for the 4-star junior. Hounds in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Huff remains in at running back. Combs back to pass. Sets the throw. Fires into the flat.
There we go.
Caught by Curry. Knocked out of bounds at the 30. There was actually Stewart on the reception. Apology. Down to the 31-yard line. Pick up a 6 on the out pattern. Now 2nd and 4 for Corbin.
Yeah, good to see the Hounds again. You know, the big offensive line doing a good job up front, protecting the quarterback, Cam Combs, just kind of getting the ball in a hurry, spreading the Golden Eagles out and firing right there. And we saw Carter Stewart make a really good catch and really get a good gain for the Hounds offense right there. You know, setting the Hounds up right here in 2nd and short.
Same formation for the Red Hounds. Combs in the gun. Speed option. Pitch is going to go to Huff. Mishandles the pitch. Now puts his foot in the dirt. Going to turn it into positive yardage at the 30, at the 20. Dragging Golden Eagles with him down to the 10-yard line. Gain of 20 on the carry. Great play there by Huff. He mishandled the pitch.
Yes.
Still hit it in the heart of the defense for a big gain.
And I get to say it again right there. Big players make big plays, and Seth Huff, the double deuce number 22, did a great job to hang on to the football, cut back to the inside, and finish the run for a first down, Hounds.
What that signifies, Jeff, is a tiring defense.
Great point. That's right.
There's
Great
some
point.
arm tackles out there and some bad angles. That indicates fatigue. Twin wideouts each way on 1st and 10 from the Johnson Central 12. Combs is in the shotgun. Huff remains in at running back. Combs back to throw. Fires over the middle, trying to find Patterson on the slant. Over his head and incomplete.
Yeah, tough break for the Hounds right there. Dakota with a good route, and, kind of the ball sails a little bit on Cam Combs. But just to touch on that point you just mentioned, Ronnie, you're right. With 4 or 5 two-way players for the Golden Eagles, Hounds coming out here early in this 3rd quarter, kind of pounding a little bit on the Golden Eagle defense. So, again, first down, with the incompletion right here, brings up that 2nd down. Look again for the double deuce, number 22, to touch the football right here.
Up-tempo has been the call to start this drive. Corbin drove the length of the field in right around 3 minutes. Down to the 12. Definitely in field goal range. Corbin needs a touchdown here. High snap, handles it, hands off to Huff, up the gut. He's going to plow ahead to the 5, picks up about a gain of 5. Now it's 3rd and medium. Corbin probably definitely in 4-down territory right now.
Yeah, I think so. And, 3rd and manageable, like you said, about 3rd and 5. So, your Coach Greer, you got 2 downs to get 5 yards right here. And, again, good to see Seth Huff, like you said a moment ago, just kind of wearing down that defense, pounding on them, kind of breaking them down right here early in this 3rd quarter.
Combs making a couple adjustments. Hounds have remained in the same formation entire drive. 4 wide receivers, 2 wideouts each way. Huff's been the running back the whole drive as well. Combs is in the gun. Back to pass on 3rd down. Steps up into the pocket. Now he's going to keep it himself. Has to hesitate. Now a flag comes down on the play. This could be a hold against Corbin.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think so. Already official signaling hold against the Hounds. So be interested to see. Golden Eagles may decline this penalty and bring up a 4th down right here. So be interesting to see what the Golden Eagles do on this penalty.
I would accept if it were me.
Right.
It's not me, but looks like they do.
And I think you're exactly right. Golden Eagles going to take the penalty, move the Hounds back a little bit right here. So it brings up a 3rd and long right here for the Hounds. So ball spotted right around the, looks like 22, 23-yard line. So, Hounds need to dial up a huge play. We saw the Hounds go to the screen game earlier to create the big play. So, wondering right here, Coach Mills, what play do you have in your back pocket to come up with a huge play right here to put points on the board for the Hounds offense?
Corbin going to empty the backfield on 3rd and 20. quads to the right, one wide receiver to the left. Now he brings Huff in motion to the left. Combs back to pass, sets in the pocket. Good pocket, fires over the middle. Tries to find Curry, in and out of his hands and incomplete. Now brings up 4th down from the Johnson Central 22, and you've got to bring on Jacob Baker to get the points.
Yeah, I think so right there, and you get the points right here. If you make the field goal, if you're the Hounds, 21-13, that would create that 8-point lead for the Golden Eagles. So you get within one possession. So Hounds really need to put points on the board. Jacob Baker, again, we talked about it, could be a huge weapon, and we saw him make the field goal right before the half, and again can cut the lead to one possession right here for the Hounds.
Baker on for the field goal try. 39-yard attempt. Snap is down. Kick is up and away. He slid. He's still got the distance, though. No good. We're going to call that off to the left. His plant foot slid when he kicked it.
Yeah.
Veered to the left a little bit. Now that's a huge turning point in this game. Corbin defense got to have a stop right now.
Yeah, the Hounds offense needed to respond, needed to put points on the board. Even though, like you said right there, the field goal, if that's good, you get to one possession. So Hounds defense have to find their way right here to control the line of scrimmage for the Golden Eagles on offense. So, Coach Greer, again, and Coach Mills making adjustments offensively as well as defensively. So, to me, you come out right here, you take a couple chances, you bring some heat right here, see if you can stop the run of the Golden Eagles.
Power I formation. This is where the Eagles got a lot of their money in the first half. ISO across the right side. Huge hole at the 40. At the 50, it's a foot race to the end zone. He's going to be tracked down from behind by Brody Wells down to the Corbin 40-yard line. Big gain there. Looks like there may be a flag down on the play, behind the play. We'll see what that one is.
Yeah, it looks like not sure who the flag is against yet, but official's going to mark it off. A holding looks like against the Golden Eagles. So this play will be coming back, and again, another huge penalty right there to kind of benefit the Hounds. And want to get the Golden Eagles by the behind the chains right here. So end up seeing where the ball is marked after the penalty flag.
Holding the call going against Johnson Central. More concerning thing is Eagles have made the coaching adjustment going into that power eye look.
Yes.
And that power eye, that 2 running back double lead play, almost like a power play off the right tackle. That's where they've been moving the ball. Going to come out here again in the power eye on first down and 7. Rice under center. Fakes the toss, now counter handoff across the right side. Big hole there as well. Throws the stiff arm at the 35. At the 40, Reynolds in pursuit, takes the angle, knocks him out of bounds. That play also getting down to the Corbin 40-yard line.
Yeah, another, like you said, the counter play right there in the wing, and then counters to the right side and kind of gets lost in the formation, in the play action there, and goes around the right side and moves in a huge gain for the Golden Eagles. And again, Hounds, and knowing the Golden Eagles going to run the football here, still having trouble dialing in and getting the stop on defense.
Just when you overload to that power eye
That's
side,
right.
they hit you with the counter. Power eye right for Johnson Central. 1st and 10 at the Corbin 42. Fake the toss, now counter back the other way. Sheds a tackle in the backfield. Second man through will get him. Hammock wraps him up for a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, really good job right there. Zane Hammock, playing it smart, playing almost kind of like, you hear the term playing chalk line. You don't want to get a lot of penetration and overrun the play. Zane Hammock kind of playing the chalk right there and making a tackle in space. So great job by Zane Hammock to bring the runner down for the Golden Eagles.
So it's up 2nd and 12. Johnson Central now exclusively running this kind of power I formation. Heavy to the left, ISO to the left.
There we go.
Gets second man through, picks up a gain of about 3. Now this is 3rd and 9 at the Corbin 40.
Yeah, really good job right there, Joe Brown. Judge Joe Brown making a hit. And again, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 right here, right where the Hounds defense wants to get the Golden Eagles. And I tell you what, just keep pounding, keep working, keep hitting the Golden Eagles, get them slowed down right here on defense for the Hounds.
3rd and long for Johnson Central. 1 pass attempt on the night. Broken wishbone look to the right. Extended handoff to the right. Now he's going to keep it himself. Got some running room. Takes a shot. Ball is on the ground. They're going to call him down by contact. Going to mark him down right around the first down marker. We'll see what the call is. Johnson Central indicating they got the first down. We'll wait for the spot. Official timeout on the field for a measurement. Very close. It's a pickup of 9. We'll see if it was 8.5 or 9 here on the measurement.
Yeah, and, being a third down, of course, if the Golden Eagles are short, I'm sure 4th and short right there, Johnson Central going to line up and go for it. So, again, you need the Hounds got to find a way to get this running game slowed down, if not stopped, if you're going to win this football game.
Stylistically, this is the team Corbin did not want to play.
That's right.
It's a team that can run fast, runs in space, matches up well with the other two teams, big teams, and Johnson Central going to have the first down by result of the measurement.
Yeah, first down again for the Golden Eagles, and again, 5:47 left in this in the third quarter. Hounds, down 21-10. Coach Greer, Coach Mills, defensive staff have to find a way to be first, to make a hit in the backfield, and get this Johnson Central Golden Eagle offensive threat right here by running the football game. Got to get them stopped.
1st and 10 at the Corbin 31-yard line. Johnson Central puts a wide receiver out each side. Rice under center, wing to the right, fullback to the left. They've been using motion, and they do so. Fullback ISO across the left side, hits a blocker, now staggers forward up to about the 28-yard line. Gain of 3 on the handoff.
Yeah, again, number 48, Chase Price, hitting it off the left side with the big fullback there, and, doing a good job. Joe Brown, again, to close the door right there for the Hounds defense. But, again, bringing up that 2nd and 6, 2nd and 7, and, again, I can't say it enough. Get Johnson Central, get the Golden Eagles off schedule, make a hit in the backfield, create that 2nd and 10, that 2nd and 9, that 2nd and 11, however you want to do it, but get the Golden Eagles off schedule in this possession right here.
2nd and 7, broken wishbone, offset to the right, handoff to the right.
There we go.
Not a lot of running room there. He might have fought forward for a yard or two. Now 3rd and medium again.
Yeah, really good job right there by the Hounds defense. Again, you always use the term here in this football game, be first. And right there, the Hounds defense was definitely first, making the hit at the line of scrimmage. So brings up a 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6. Huge play for both football teams on 3rd down right here.
Spot of the ball is now going to be 3rd and about 4. Golden Eagles got to be in 4-down territory here. Double wing formation, wide arcing motion, fullback ISO makes the first tackle miss, staggers inside the 20. That's enough for a first down, Johnson Central.
Yeah, move the chains right there. Chase Price, number 48, hit in the backfield, then hit at the 2nd level, and then runs the football to the 3rd level. So 2 or 3 different broken tackles right there for the fullback, number 48, Chase Price, before number 23, Brandon Baker, for the Hounds, brings him down. So move the chains again. Ball on the 19-yard line, 3:50 left in this 3rd quarter. Hounds down 21-10. Again, you don't want to give up any more points if you're the Hounds defense.
Wishbone formation for the Golden Eagles. Hard count. Corbin does not bite. Belly handoff across the right side. Big hole there. Still fighting forward. Picks up about 6 or 7 on the little power play there.
Yeah, another decent little gain right there off the right side. Moving, looks like maybe even a 2nd and 1. So,
yeah.
Just defensive line has to find a way. Linebackers, cheating up in those gaps. Got to get a stop right here.
21-10 your score right now. Corbin did not score on its opening possession. Johnson Central driving the length of the field. Shoot up about 5 minutes on this drive so far.
Yeah.
2nd and 1 at the Corbin 10. Wishbone formation, 2 tight ends. Belly handoff, going up the gut. Still picks up 4 or 5 on the fullback dive. That's enough for the first down, Johnson Central.
Yeah, and really, Johnson Central knowing exactly what they need to do. 2nd and 1 right there, 2nd and 2. You give it to the fullback, bang him up in there. Get your yard or 2. Stay on schedule for the Eagle offense and move the chains. So now Hounds looking at a 1st and goal right here on defense. So you have to find a way. Big turnover, big penalty. Something needs to happen right here for the Hounds.
Power eye to the left. They've gone to the power play on the goal line. They'll do so here. Straight ahead, no running room there, no gain on the play. Stopped at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, really good job right up in there by the defense. Looks like number 54, I think, getting off the pile again, Joe Brown. So Joe Brown has done a good job in this drive, making some hits, but brings up a 2nd and goal right here for the Golden Eagles. So Hounds defense, make something happen, be first again, hit somebody in the backfield right here to cause that collision to stop the Golden Eagles.
Power eye left on 2nd and goal. Now motion to the right, handoff to the right. Heading towards the goal line. He's in there for the touchdown.
Wow. Tough break again for the Hounds. Send a back in motion to kind of, cause a little bit, use the back as a little bit of a decoy or even a block up in there. And Hounds really a tough break right there. We saw the missed field goal earlier in the 3rd quarter, and then the Golden Eagles respond with a touchdown. So Hounds now down 27-10, pending this extra point by the Golden Eagles.
Crum on for the extra point try. Lefty kicker perfect on the night. 3 for 3 on PAT tries. Snap is down, kick is up and away. Looks like it's blocked, but I don't know if they're going to blow that one dead. They're going to call it no good. Blocked PAT. So your score, 1:52 left in the 3rd. Johnson Central 27, Corbin 10. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Dreaming about enjoying time on the lake but need a boat? Or planning a road trip but not sure which RV is right for you and your family? Wildcat RV and Marine can help. With our selection of Keystone and Crossroads RVs and Mercury Low boats, we can get you in the great outdoors. We're a family-owned RV and Marine dealer with professionally trained sales and service departments. Our staff is committed to helping you find the perfect RV or boat and keep it on the road or in the water. Wildcat RV and Marine, just off I-75 in Corbin, or online at wildcatrvandmarine.com.
.152 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Johnson Central leads Corbin 27-10 here at Campbell Field. Region final title on the line. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett on your T107 radio dial. Right now, Corbin running out of time the way this Johnson Central group keeps the football.
That's right.
Crum puts the kick on the ground. Finally going to be fielded right around the 30-yard line. That's Stewart up to the 40. That's where he'll be tackled. Brought to rest. They're actually going to spot him behind the plate. Yeah, it's the 40-yard line. Going to be the correct spot. That's where Corbin will start their 2nd drive of the half. Came away with no points down here. You'd like to see Corbin have a healthy dose of running the football on this drive. You're down 17 points, but you're still in it in the sense you can establish the run here.
Yeah, you put a score on the board right here. You're back in the football game, so look for the Hounds to, get double deuce involved, run the football. Had a great first half. Love to see the Hounds run the football right here.
Comes in the shotgun on 1st down. Handoff goes to Huff across the left side to the 45. Lowers his shoulder, still fighting. Dragging Golden Eagles with him. They'll mark him out of bounds at his own 47-yard line. Gain of 7 on the 1st down handoff.
Yeah, looking at the stats, Seth Huff averaging right almost at 10 yards a carry. So every time he touches the football, moves the chains on the average. So, again, plenty of time, 1:42 left in the 3rd quarter. Hounds down 27-10. You don't have to panic. You just need to put the ball in the end zone right here.
Same formation, twin wideouts each way. Huff going to reset to the left. Gets the handoff on 2nd down. Hitting the backfield, keeps his feet churning.
There he goes.
Into the 50, down to the 48-yard line. Pick up a 5 on the handoff. That's enough for a Corbin 1st down in Johnson Central territory.
Yeah, really good run again. That's 2 in a row by Seth Huff, running the football, pounding the rock. And you talked about that earlier, Ronnie. Not only do you run the football, pound the rock, but you wear down the defense. And good to see Seth Huff hitting it hard up in there between the tackles behind this big Red Hound offensive line tonight.
1st and 10 at the 47. Corbin stayed in this set basically all night, 4 wide. That's 2 wide outs each way. Now Huff going to go to the right. Speed option. Pitch goes to Huff across the right side. Loses his footing trying to make a juke move there. He's going to fall down to the turf right at the midfield stripe. Loses about 3 there. That's going to be 2nd and 13.
Yeah, tough break right there, Seth Huff, trying to make something happen. You know, big players make big plays, trying to make somebody miss, and unfortunately loses his footing. So, you know, kind of gets the Hounds offense behind the chains a little bit right here. 2nd and 12. Look for Coach Elam, you know, maybe dial up, try to create a, you may even go back to the screenplay. We saw the Hounds earlier have a really big success with the screenplay. So, important 2nd down right here for the Hounds.
Comes in the shotgun on 2nd down. Going to keep it on the ground.
There he
Huff
goes.
At the 45. At the 40.
There
The
he
deuce is
goes.
loose at the 30. At the 20. Tackled from behind down inside the 10-yard line. Big gain from Seth Huff has Corbin down in the Johnson Central red zone.
Yeah, just what the Hounds needed right there. 2nd and 12, kind of behind the chains, and you run it right at the Johnson Central Golden Eagle defense, and the big offensive line and the double deuce Seth Huff deliver, you know, creating this 1st and goal opportunity for the Hounds offense.
1st and goal at the Johnson Central 9. 15 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Combs going to keep it up the gut. Hit at the line of scrimmage. Not a lot of running room there. He might have got forward progress for a gain of 2. That's going to take us into the 4th quarter. 3 in the books and 1 to go. Your score, Johnson Central 27, Corbin 10. We'll be back in 60 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
If you're looking for a better night's sleep, Sammy's Furniture has the perfect mattress for you. Whether it's combining the support of an innerspring mattress with the comfort of memory foam with a Sealy hybrid, or the all-night cooling of the new Tempur-Pedic Breeze, or the unparalleled design and craftsmanship of a Stearns & Foster, Sammy's Furniture is here to help you find a mattress that won't break your back or your budget. That's Sammy's Furniture and Sleep Shop, open 7 days a week. Visit our store to find your perfect mattress today.
Hello, I'm Dr. Deidre Pennington, and I invite you to discover the difference at Pennington Wellness, Chiropractic, and Massage. We offer digital x-ray with instant imaging for the most specific solution to your problem. The Atlas orthogonal technique offers a gentle and precise adjustment with no twisting of the neck or spine. Pennington Wellness has a friendly staff and relaxing spa-like atmosphere.
Trust our Grammy. We do.
At the start of your 4th quarter, Corbin trails Johnson Central 27-10. Red Hounds have the ball 2nd and goal down at the Johnson Central 8-yard line. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in your T107 radio dial. Corbin and Johnson Central locking horns for the 2nd consecutive year for the region title. Corbin trails by 3 scores right now, has an opportunity to cut that to a 10-point deficit here. 2nd and 8, trips formation to the left. Combs going to hand off up the gut. No running room there. He's going to stay on his feet, but driven down into the turf. No gain on the play. Now Corbin staring down the barrel of a 3rd and long.
Yeah, 3rd down right here. Huge play again. Of course, you know, we'll see how Coach Greer, Coach Elam, you know, makes the call. Hounds down 3 scores. Need points. Not only need points, have to have points right here on this drive to stay in this football game.
Third and goal. Ball sitting at the Johnson Central 8. The way Johnson Central's been running the football and chewing up the clock, you got to imagine Corbin is in 4-down territory right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You got to put points on the board right here for the Hounds.
Combs has trips to his left. 15 seconds on the play clock now. Timeout on the field. Johnson Central going to burn a timeout. We'll take a quick one as well. 11:22 left in the football game. Johnson Central up 27-10. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
We've all been there, out and about, and you see someone and you just can't seem to remember their name. This happens to just about all of us, but it shouldn't with your doctor. Today, it is so convenient to see a provider who doesn't know your name, let alone your medical history. Your family needs a primary care provider who knows you and meets all of your family's needs. Jane's Family Practice is now open and located on Master Street in Corbin. Stop in for school physicals, women's care, men's health screenings, regular checkups, and when you just aren't feeling your best. Call and schedule an appointment today with Jane's Family Practice at 280-4000. That's 280-4000.
11:20 remaining in the football game. Corbin trails Johnson Central 27-10 here in the 3rd round of the playoffs. Region title on the line. Corbin has it 3rd and goal at the Johnson Central 8. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett And Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth right now. JB, Corbin's got to be looking at 4 downs. You got to be running 2 plays to get 8 yards. The field goal really not going to do much for you here the way Johnson Central keeps the ball.
Yeah, no, not exactly right. And, again, we said it a couple times tonight, Ronnie. If you've got to, Coach Elam, you've got to play in your back pocket, saving it for a big opportunity. Right here's the time. Go all in right here. Put points on the board for the Hounds.
Trips for Combs, play action. Fires over the middle, trying to find Patterson. Flag down on the play. Johnson Central going to be called for pass interference. I think that's a good call.
Yeah, I think so. Dakota ran a really good route to the inside and then kind of got hit right before the ball arrived. So should be, move the yards up there and would still remain, I think, 3rd down right here. But a really good break for the Hounds and a legitimate call right there as well.
Climb the back of Patterson as he's trying to haul in the slant route. That's going to be a half the distance to the goal infraction against Johnson Central. I think it remains 3rd down, though. It's not an automatic first in high school.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's even got a 3rd down marker still up there. So 3rd down right there. And, again, Hounds have to cash in right here.
Opportunity to run the football. Corbin actually going to go heavy here. Combs remains in. Wildcat look. Brings Longmire in motion. Handoff goes to Longmire. Flag down on the play. Play was blown dead. Longmire looked like he might have poked in there for a touchdown. False start going against Corbin, so negate the pass interference call. Now going to be 3rd and 8 again.
Yeah, 3rd and 8 right there. 1 penalty for the Eagles, 1 penalty for the Hounds. And, you reset right here on the 8-yard line and replay this 3rd down. So, I think you're right, Ronnie. Looked like Travion Longmire kind of running the jet sweep would have probably put the ball in the end zone, if he'd been able to kind of carry out that play. But, again, 3rd and 8 right here. Like you just mentioned a minute ago, 4-down territory for the Hounds for sure. With 11-18 in this 4th quarter, Hounds down 27-10.
Comes in the shotgun on 3rd and goal. Trips to his right, the short side of the field. Longmire to the left. He's bracketed on the left side. Huff in at running back. Johnson Central shows blitz. Comes back to pass. Climbs up in the pocket. Going to be sacked from behind. Gets rid of the football. It's going to fall incomplete. Trying to find Patterson near the front of the end zone. Now brings up 4th down.
Yeah, pretty good protection up by the offensive line, but but on the other side of it, of the defensive side, pretty good coverage by the Johnson Central Golden Eagles. So kind of a coverage sack, almost really not a sack, but Cam Combs gets hit and has to get rid of the football. So creates this 4th and 8 right here for the Hounds offense.
4th down and goal. Corbin spreads the field with 4 wide receivers. Twins each way. Combs in the shotgun here on 4th down. Got to convert here. Timeout on the field. Coach Greer wants to take a second to talk about it. We'll take one as well. 11-12 left in the game. Corbin trails Johnson Central 27-10. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
Appalachian Wireless and Samsung introduced the smartphone that everyone is flipping over, the Z Flip 3. Looking for something that stands out in the crowd amongst regular smartphones? Then the Z Flip 3 is the device for you. On the region's best service, Appalachian Wireless, the Z Flip 3 is an actual flip phone that, when opened, reveals a stunning 6.7-inch touchscreen for the best of both worlds. It's compact, powerful, and the most unique smartphone in the world. Get more information at AppalachianWireless.com. We are you. We are Appalachian Wireless.
11-12 remaining in the football game. Corbin trails Johnson Central 27-10 here at Campbell Field. 3rd round of the playoffs. Coach Greer is elected to send his field goal unit onto the field. A made field goal will make this a 14-point game. Basically a PAT here for Baker. He's 1 for 2 on the night. Slid his plant foot down on the previous drive. Xander to snap. Elam to hold. Snap is down. Kick is up and away. It looked, and it's good through the uprights and good. 11-10 remaining. Corbin trails Johnson Central 27-13. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
What's up, y'all? This is Chase Rice hanging outdoors with an ice cold Mountain Dew. You know, it's easy to tell who really loves the outdoors. One thing, there's a rack on your car and a hitch on the back of your truck. There's a garage full of toys from wakeboards to dirt bikes. And there's a cooler full of Mountain Dew, always at the ready. Because when it's time to get out and do, hit the lake or the deer stand, a cooler of Mountain Dew, that's as important a piece of outdoor gear as your four-wheeler or your fishing rod. Mountain Dew. Do the do.
$11:10 remaining in the football game. Jacob Baker field goal is good. It makes this game 27-13. Johnson Central. I'm Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. And I understand the call. You get the easy 3 points out of Baker. This is a 2-touchdown game. Corbin, if it has ever needed a stop, it needs one right now.
Yes.
Cannot surrender points. Cannot give up a lot of clock.
Right.
By the metrics, if you look at analytical studies, if you're trailing by 2 scores, you've got to cut it to a single score by the 7-minute mark.
That's right.
Probably even higher when you're playing a team like this.
Right, and the Golden Eagles control time of possession. So just what you said, Ronnie, you have to get a 3 and out. I mean, you need a 3 and out right here. Time of possession, Golden Eagles do a great job at controlling that. So you have to get a stop right here.
Baker puts the ball on the ground, almost recovered by the Red Hounds. It's going to be recovered at the 42-yard line by Johnson Central. They'll have good field position to start this drive. I knew that was going to be a funky kick by the way it was teed up. I was kind of mouthing to you. It was
I saw,
an onside attempt.
That's right.
It was standing straight at attention there.
Yes.
But
And right here, like you just mentioned right there, Ronnie, before the kick, I mean, Coach Greer, Coach Mills, of course, I'm sure, you go all in here. I mean, 11 minutes to go, down 27-13. Somebody needs to get hit in the backfield right here on first down.
Corbin has all 11 players in the box. Johnson Central, 2 tight ends, power I formation. Rice under center. Handoff on the power play, up the gut at the 45, at the 50, at the 45. Still dragging tacklers with him. Down to the 41-yard line.
Wow.
For a first down, Johnson Central.
Yeah, tough break right there. Again, you gotta attack. You gotta cause something right here to happen. I mean, just unable to get the run stopped. And again, Johnson Central runs off the right side for a big gain. That clock, 11 minutes and counting towards 0. And the Hounds' perfect season in big, big jeopardy right here.
Official timeout on the field. We have an issue with the chains. This set of chains been a little problematic this year.
Exactly.
A few of these stoppages.
Yeah, resetting the chains right there. And again, can't say it enough. You want to hit the running back in the backfield before he gets started. You gotta go get him. You gotta get aggressive, make hits in the backfield right here on defense.
Corbin needs a stop or needs a turnover in the worst way. It's 27-13 Johnson Central. 10:53 left in the football game. Johnson Central been averaging about 7 or 8 minutes time of possession per drive. So do the math, folks. It's essential. Corbin going to have to turn the heat up right now defensively.
Yeah, and you mentioned the analytical thing about the 7-minute mark, and we're 4 minutes away. So Hounds got to get off the field right here.
First and 10 at the Corbin 41-yard line. Johnson Central reeled off a big 20-yard gainer to start this drive. Going to operate out of the power I set, strength to the left. Rice under center. Fakes the toss sweep. Now counter play coming back to the weak side at the 35, at the 30, at the 20, at the 10, at the 5. He's going to walk it in for the touchdown.
Wow. Tough break right there. We did see the Hounds walk up a run blitz on the on the left side of the Johnson Central offense, but unfortunately for the Hounds, Johnson Central hitting it around the right side, and the runner goes the distance right there. So look like I think number 20, Matt Crum, took it the distance for Johnson Central, and again, the Golden Eagles extend their lead right here, 33-13. With 10:22 left in this fourth quarter.
Right side, always fertile ground for this Eagle offense. Big Grant Bingham, right tackle, committed to the University of Kentucky.
Yeah,
chose the Cats over the Buckeyes and the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, great get for the Wildcats. That's right, and we just saw him right there. Mow open a hole on that right side for the Golden Eagles.
Crum puts it through the uprights for the PAT. 10:22 left in the football game. Johnson Central leads 34-13. We'll be back in 30 seconds. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
What's your favorite thing about football time in Corbin? The hometown pride, the sound of the cannon that echoes through downtown Corbin with every point scored? Or is it the tradition of taking your family to Mi Casa before the game? In Corbin, it's all about tradition, and that's what you can count on at Mi Casa Mexican Restaurant. A family-friendly, delicious meal with every visit. Stop in and enjoy their patio and weekly specials. Good luck and go Hounds from Mi Casa of Corbin.
Central got rid of Patterson.
I saw that. What in the world?
10:22 remaining in the football game. Johnson Central reopens its lead. They're on top of Corbin 34-13. Johnson Central as good as advertised.
Yes.
They come in tonight 10-2 with a COVID loss and a loss to a private school from Maryland. This is just a prime example of the travesty of the RPI ranking system.
Yeah, it is, exactly. You know, these two teams meeting in the third round and should be, at least a semifinal round. But, tonight, just Johnson Central, a certainer will against the Hounds defense right there.
Kick is on the ground, going to be recovered by Newberry back at his own 30-yard line, trying to find some running room. Not going to find a whole lot. He'll return it up to his own 36. That's a 6-yard return. Corbin takes over 1st and 10 on their own 36-yard line. 10 minutes remaining. Down by a couple scores here.
Yeah, just the Hounds again after that score. Perfect season. Hounds 12-0. Perfect season. Definitely on the ropes right here. And Hounds have to make something happen offensively, defensively, special teams, all three phases to even try to kind of crawl back into this football game.
Combs opens up in the shotgun, twin wideouts each way. Handoff going to go straight ahead to Huff. He's at the 40, still dragging Eagles with him up to the 42. Picks up a gain of 5 or 6 on the carry. Clock now Corbin's biggest enemy.
Yeah, huge enemy right there. Moving inside 10 minutes right here late in this fourth quarter. And again, Hounds need a quick strike, a quick score, something big, a big play right here by the Hounds offense.
Brings up 2nd and 5. Corbin, no apparent hurry right now.
Yeah, down 3 scores, need to rev it up right here. Need to put the gas pedal down and put points on the board in a hurry.
Trips to Combs' left on 2nd down. Handoff again going to Huff across the right side. He's got the first down at the 50. Still at the 45. He'll step out of bounds at the 44-yard line. That's enough for a first down. Corbin flag down on the play. That's going to be a dead ball foul. We'll see what the call is here.
Yeah, I think so. A flag coming out late right there after a really, really good Seth Huff run around the right side to move the chains. But flag coming out, an official – actually, Johnson Central, so a personal foul, maybe a late hit on the opposite sideline there. Didn't exactly see what took place, but on the opposite sideline, but looked like maybe a late hit or whatever when Seth Huff was out of bounds. So tack on another 15 after that run right there by Seth Huff.
Corbin badly needs it. That's free 15. On the back of that long Seth Huff run, will make it 1st and 10 at the Johnson Central 31-yard line.
Yeah, exactly, right there, right about the 31. So would love to see the Hounds, needing to put points on the board again in a hurry. 9:25 left in the fourth quarter. Maybe look at the Hounds right here to maybe take a shot downfield to see if you can put some points on the board in a hurry.
5 wide receivers for Combs. Trips to the left, twins to the right. He's back to throw. Loads up, fires, trying to find Patterson on the fade route. Going to sail over his head and incomplete. Patterson takes a slip down there. He led him over to the kind of the pavement area in front of the concession stand, and now he's shaking up on the play.
Yeah, wow, tough break right there, but actually popping up. So good to see him popping up right there on the reception. But again, glad to see the Hounds take a shot right there. You're down big, 34-13, 9 minutes, 18 seconds left in this fourth quarter. You got a first down, fire at it, take your big shot, see if you can, get a quick one. But unfortunately for the Hounds, unable to connect right there on the reception. So you reset right here on 2nd down, see if you can move the football.
That was Longmire on the attempted hookup there. He's up, he's back in the football game. Didn't even have to come out for an injury. Combs has trips to his left on 2nd down, 9:18 remaining in the game. Combs is in the shotgun. Handoff going to go straight ahead to Huff. Shoestring tackle from behind, not before he gets up to the 26-yard line. Gain of 5. Actually going to gain a 3 there. So
Yeah.
3rd and 7. This is a tough angle.
Yeah, exactly. Looked like a little bit bigger gain right there, but you're right, Ronnie. Only 3 yards, so brings up a 3rd down. Of course, no doubt about it. 4-down territory right here for the Hounds offense.
3rd and 7. Trips to the left on 3rd and long. Longmire isolated to the high side of the field. Combs back to pass. Climbs the pocket. Now rolls to the right. Loads up and fires. Hauled in and caught. That's got Huff down at the 10-yard line. Great catch by Huff there out in space. He leaked out of the backfield as a receiving threat. He'll have it down to, I think, right around the 10-yard line.
Yeah, really good job right there. Seth Huff kind of working. Cam Combs did a great job buying time, kind of extending the play, kind of sprinting out to the right when nobody was open downfield. And then, kind of working one-on-one, finds Seth Huff right there to move the chains for the Hounds. So, huge play right there for the Hounds offense.
Same formation, Corbin going with trips on this drive. Handoff going to go to Huff across the right side. Not a lot of running room there. He's going to be bottled up at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Yeah, not much on the Seth Huff run right there on 1st down. And again, clock getting ready to tick inside 8 minutes. Again, Hounds down 34-13, desperately needing a score right here, in this 4th quarter. So, look for the Hounds right here, 2nd down. Take another shot. Try to get some points on the board in a hurry right here.
7:45 remaining in the game. 2nd and goal at the Johnson Central 10. Combs fakes the handoff, now keeps it himself up the gut. Probes ahead down to the Johnson Central 5. Pick up a 5. Now it's 3rd and goal from the 5.
Yeah, 3rd and goal right here. Cam Combs doing a good job with the little bit of the kind of the RPO fake to Seth Huff, and then hits it up in there for a pretty good gain. So 3rd and 5 right here. Again, Hounds desperately needing to put points on the board on this drive.
3rd and goal from the 5. Same formation. Combs going to hand off to Huff up the gut. He's going to fight towards the goal line, going to be short by about a yard. Now that sets up 4th down.
Yeah, huge 4th down right there. Good hard run inside by Seth Huff, but again, 4th, and it looks like about a yard, maybe yard and a half right there. And again, Hounds looking to put points on the board. But looks like we're Hounds bringing in the beef, the offense bringing in a little bit more of the beef, and going to maybe try to pound this football in right here, maybe with number 22, the double deuce Seth Huff.
4th and goal from the 1. Corbin goes with the wild. Thought it was Wildcat. It's actually going to be a straight-up formation with just a lot of linemen in there. Huff up close in a 3-point stance. He brings Longmire in motion. Fakes the handoff now. It's a pass. Trying to find Huff in the end zone. It's over his head and incomplete. Johnson Central will take over on downs.
Wow. 4th and about 1 right there, and the Hounds throwing the ball, but unfortunately coming up short to Seth Huff, and just a tough break right there for the offense, tough break for the Hounds, and 6 minutes to go in this football game. Hounds down 34-13 in the 4th quarter. Really, going to be tough.
Academic
yeah, going to be tough for the Hounds to find their way right here.
Fake the jet sweep. Tried to find Huff out of the backfield. Patterson was doing his best to lobby for a pass interference in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, exactly.
Hard to get when you're not the intended recipient.
That's right.
Might get a hold every now and then. Official timeout. The chains are malfunctioning once again.
That's right, yeah. Having trouble
boy.
again with the chains, and let's again, defense, got to make something happen, got to have turnovers. Got to have really almost something, 6 minutes to go in the game. Got to have something crazy right here happen for the Hounds defense.
Got to think safety.
Exactly.
This team doesn't go backwards very often.
No, that's right.
Johnson Central comes to the line, 1st and 10. Shadow of their own goalpost. Full house backfield behind Rice. Hands off to the fullback. He'll be cut down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the carry.
Yeah, not much up in there. Looked like maybe number 23, Brandon Baker on the hit, and looked like maybe Mikey Neal working hard in there. But again, just hard to hard to kind of get that running game dialed in all night long. You know, the Golden Eagles just, you know, really, really good at moving the ball around with the counter, with the ISO, with the fullback dive, and have just done a really good job tonight kind of keeping the Hounds' defensive front off balance.
Flag down on the play. Here on second down, Johnson Central indicating it's against Corbin. Corbin indicating it's against Johnson Central. I think Corbin was in the neutral zone, though. That's going to be the call.
Yeah, I think so. You know, Hounds showing a little bit of a running blitz right up kind of the A gap, right between the guard and the center. And I think, like you said, Ronnie, just kind of got into that neutral zone. So 5 free ones right there for the Johnson Central Golden Eagle offense.
After that, now it's about 2nd and 4. Johnson Central on their own 8. They're just going to try to kill the clock here on this drive. 2 tight ends, full house backfield behind Rice. Long extended handoff. Going to be tackled down, but not only by his face mask. Unfortunately, that's going to go against Corbin as well.
Yeah, I think so. Look like number 23, Brandon Baker for the Hounds, doing a good job getting free into the backfield, being first that right there. You know, he actually was going to hit him into the backfield, you know, for the first time, I think, tonight. So, but unfortunately grabbed the face mask right there. And again, like you said, tough penalty, first down right there for the Golden Eagles.
1st and 10.
Yeah, a little
Personal
bit.
Foul, face mask.
Unfortunately for the Hounds, a little bit too late to get through in the backfield. Finally, you know, getting through, but you know, the clock ticking down, 5 minutes, almost to go inside 5 minutes. Hounds really in trouble right here.
Johnson Central in the power I. They're going to let the clock tick down, play clock at 10. Power play formation across the right side. He's going to be hit in the backfield and driven backwards. Another flag comes flying on the play. See a Golden Eagle player with his helmet removed. Could be another face mask going against the Hounds.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like a couple of officials kind of talking it out right here, but you'll be interested to see what this flag is all about right here.
Wait on the call. Relatively flag-free game tonight.
Yes.
Not been the case down the stretch here.
No, things, a few flags flying here, especially on this last drive. So still waiting the officials' call right here with the penalty.
Going over to Coach Trimble on the Johnson Central sideline. Pretty indicative that one's against Corbin.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, exactly. Probably going to mark some yards off right here on the Hounds again, and just a tough break.
Wow.
Well, actually going back the other way, so.
That's called the old White Hats explaining the call to the Johnson
yeah,
Central
exactly.
coach. Usually they go over for the the selection of
right.
electing to take the penalty or not.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly what I thought as well, Ronnie. But right there, going in the way of the Hounds. So a good break right there on the penalty for the Hounds defense right there.
Didn't get the nature of the call there, but it goes against Johnson Central. Now it's 1st and 20, 4:52 remaining in the football game. Johnson Central still full house backfield power I formation, 2 tight ends. Been here most of the night.
Yes.
Rice under center. Power play handoff. Actually going to keep it himself there. Driven out of bounds. Right around the 22-yard line.
Yeah, looked like
decent little gain there.
Looked like number 11, Grant Rice, the quarterback, hitting that around the right side after the fake to the fullback right there. And, doing a good job again just to kind of move the football down the field. Brings up a 2nd down right here for the Golden Eagles.
Result of that play gets him back to the original line of scrimmage, so it's 2nd and 10. 4:20 clock continues to grind down. Golden Eagles out. Power I formation. Strength to the right. Fakes the toss. Now it's a counter back to the left. Trying to find some running room. Slipping some tackles. No real gain there. He'll be tagged down at the line of scrimmage. Brings up now 3rd and 10.
Yeah, I think number 9, Bryson Batt in on the tackle right there. And again, we've seen use the fullback, use the quarterback, and then right there with a counter around the left side. And And, just the Golden Eagles do a great job just moving the football all around. You got to, again, like we said, the whole broadcast, got to play fundamental, good, sound defense and assignment football. And unfortunately for the Hounds, have just had a tough time tonight, especially up front at the defensive line spot with the Golden Eagles kind of getting loose on the Hounds defense.
Wishbone formation on third down. Belly handoff across the right side. He's up to the 30-yard line. That picked up about 8 or 9. He's shy of the first down marker, but you might see Coach Trimble go for the throat here and close this one out.
Yeah, 4th down right here, 4th and about 2, and be interesting to see the call. Got a lot of substitutions coming in and out right here, so be interesting to see if he's going to punt it away or, like you said, Ronnie, maybe just trying to pick up the first down and run the clock out right here.
Eagles going to come out. Difficult to see right now. They're not breaking the huddle till about 15 seconds on the play clock. Does look like they're in punt formation, though.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think you're right. Just going to punt this football away and, kind of flip the field a little bit and, set the Golden Eagle defense up right here.
Johnson Central will take a timeout. We'll take a quick one as well. 2:29 left in the game. Corbin trails 34-13. We'll be back in 30. You're listening to Red Hound Football on T107.
The magical season of fall is here with cooler temperatures and shorter days, and that means two things: hunting season and it's football time in the Bluegrass. So before you plan your next hunting or fishing trip, stop by Southeastern Kentucky's #1 hunting and fishing headquarters, Kentucky Outdoorsman. It's national buying power with the same family-owned small-town customer service to which you've become accustomed. Get equipped for your next outdoor adventure at Kentucky Outdoorsman, located on U.S. Highway 25 between Corbin and London next to Tri-County Cycle Sales.
2:29 remaining in the contest. Johnson Central on top of Corbin 34-13. Ronnie Bowling with Jeff Barnett and Jenny Barnett in the T107 broadcast booth. Tough night for the Hounds. Johnson Central bringing this rushing attack on full display. Flag down here on the punt formation. We have a Hound in the neutral zone. I think that's going to go against Corbin, and this may move the sticks here. It was 4th and 2. Dead ball, offsides going against Corbin, and that one might be your football game, folks. Johnson Central can just fall on knees here and probably bring this clock close to 0.
Yeah, I think so. Again, another tough break right there. 4th and 2, Hounds jump off sides, and so you move the chains. Tough night at the office for the Hounds defense, and just unable to get that run stopped tonight.
Now 2:29 left. First down by virtue of the offsides call. Johnson has it on their own 36-yard line. This drive started back on their own 2. 3, 2, 1. That's going to be a delay of game against Johnson Central. Wow, they've been more penalties on this last drive
exactly.
than probably the entire football game.
I think you're right, yeah. We saw the yellow flags come out a lot in this drive, and Hounds pick up 5 free ones there, but again, too little too late. 2:29 left in this fourth quarter, and Hounds down 34-13. So like you said, Ronnie, Johnson Central just going to run the clock out right here.
Not in victory formation yet. They're going to line up in the wishbone set. Handoff on the belly across the right side at the 40, 45 down to the 50. Picks up 14 on the carry. That's another first down, Johnson Central.
Yeah, just again pounding it off that right side behind big number 65, commit to UK, offensive lineman, offensive tackle, and just kind of caving in the whole right side. So, again, big gain right there for the Golden Eagles of Johnson Central.
Stoops got him a good one in Bingham.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
As good as advertised.
That's right. Yeah, big guy. I think he was 6'8", right, Ronnie? I think right in there somewhere.
6'5", 6'6".
Who knows after you get that big, but just a big guy up there.
Probably close to 350.
Yeah, and can move people against their will.
Power eye for the Eagles going to be behind Bingham on the right. Huge hole at the 40, at the 35, down to the 30. Another 20-yard gain for Johnson Central. It's another first down, Golden Eagles.
Yeah, first down again, and again, just Johnson Central running again right behind Bingham, the big number 65, and having their way right here as that clock ticks towards 0 in this fourth quarter.
1st and 10 at the Corbin 30. Johnson Central has started this drive on their own 2. Pretty much mathematical here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just looking to, you keep looking for that victory formation. I think we might end up seeing it right here.
Johnson Central content in victory formation. Rice tucked up under center, going to fall to a knee here. And he does, and that's going to put the icing on this season. Corbin going to come up short here in the 3rd round. Going to end the season 12-1. Golden Eagles going to be the bane of the Red Hounds' existence 2 years in a row.
Yeah, tough break right there. We saw the Hounds last year in that 3rd round get beat, on the road at Johnson Central, and then this year in the 3rd round, Johnson Central, the Golden Eagles roll into Campbell Field and really put the Hounds in a bad way. Looks like going to be 34-13 your final. So tough break. Your Hounds perfect on the season, great season, but a huge loss right here in the 3rd round of the playoffs.
Really reiterate the faults in the RPI system.
Yes.
Just very apparent tonight. Corbin, undefeated season.
Yes.
Gets the 3 seed in the RPI.
Yeah.
Johnson Central, undefeated in the state of Kentucky. They're like a 5 seed or something crazy like that.
It's hard to do the math, and but unfortunately for the Hounds, Johnson Central rolling into Campbell Field and just said we're going to run the football and make you like it. And unfortunately for the Hounds up front, offensively, defensively, unable to get the stop on defense. So tough break again for the Hounds. Great football season at 12-0, but come up short right here in the playoffs against the Golden Eagles of Johnson Central.
And that's your football game. Clock has expired here at Campbell Field, and so has the Red Hounds state title hopes. They're going to fall to Johnson Central 34-13. And again, Johnson Central just ran the football so well tonight.
Yes.
They controlled the time of possession. They really chewed up the yardage and took advantage of the one mistake, which was the fumble.
That's right.
Early
That was
on
huge
in this game, and put Corbin behind the chains pretty early on. It was hard to play catch up against a team that has 7, 8, 9 minute possessions.
Yeah, exactly. And you mentioned the turnover right there early, I think in the first quarter there, and that just kind of flipped a little bit of that momentum. And Hounds kind of, like you said, Ronnie, kind of behind it a little bit, behind the chains, if you will, and just never really kind of got going after that turnover. And then Johnson Central just kept pounding. And like I said a minute ago, numbers behind big number 65 Grant Bingham kind of asserted their will against the Hounds defense. And unfortunately for the Hounds, like I said, great football season, great year, Coach Greer and company. But unfortunately, these seniors have to go home right here at Campbell Field. So great season, but come up a little short this year.
Johnson Central move on, probably looking to play Franklin County.
Yeah, I think so.
Which Corbin beat 28-7 earlier in the year. So Johnson Central may be well on way to playing in Lexington. Probably going to see Boyle County.
I would think so. That's right.
Again, thanks to the RPI, has a cakewalk across the
bracket.
Yes. But great season for these Red Hound seniors. Perfect regular season. Great postseason performance. Just comes up a little short here against a very good Johnson Central team. And again, this Johnson Central team, a lot to play for.
Yes.
They lost their head coach.
That's right.
Coach Jim Matney died due to COVID. And I think some complications from that during the regular season. So this is a team with a lot to play for.
That's right.
Good Corbin football team, but again, sometimes you meet a really good team, and they met one tonight.
Yes, they did. Again, Johnson Central just came ready to go. Getting off the bus, ready to, like I said, just run the football, play good, sound, smart defense, and didn't allow the Hounds to really kind of get a really big play off through the whole football game. Except we saw, the one big reception I think by Dakota Patterson, but other than that, kind of kept the Hounds offense in check, if you will. So, and then just, played the time of possession game, controlled the line of scrimmage, and then, kind of slowly built their lead. And then after they built that lead, then, the Hounds were unable to come up and really challenge the Golden Eagles of Johnson Central.
Well, that is your football game tonight, folks. Unfortunately, there will not be one next week. Corbin season will come to an end tonight here at Campbell Field. Come up shy. Your final score, 34-13 to Johnson Central. Again, JB, thank you all season long for the color commentary. Thank you, Jenny, for the stats. Thank you to all our corporate sponsors for bringing us Red Hound football all season long. Thanks for everybody listening at home and back at the station. I'm Ronnie Bowling. This has been Red Hound football on T107.